street, alright, so we chop it, so we do it. Lock down we lock down the street, so we chop it, so we do it. We say when you come, we lock down the street. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say, yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them talking up the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say, yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them talking up the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say, yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them talking up the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say, yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them talking up the big tune. So we do it. This every day we lock down the street. So we chop it. So we do it. This when you come feel lock down the street. Alright, so we chop it. So we do it. Lock down we lock down the street. So we chop it. So we do it. This when you come feel lock down the street. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say, yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them talking up the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say, yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them talking up the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say, yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them talking up the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say, yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them talking up the big tune.
We've reached our cruising altitude. We're going to go ahead and turn off the seatbelt sign right now. We ask that you remain seated, that you keep those seatbelts fastened, just in case if we hit any unexpected rough air. We appreciate you watching us tonight at Swaba Operations channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and check us out at virtualswa.com. As we get a little closer to the airport, we'll let you know on the weather conditions. Thank you.
think this works. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, folks. Welcome to the Flight Sim Broadcasting Network. My name is Jason, and we are here in a coastal flight flying NHL charter from Philadelphia down to Fort Lauderdale. We're flying the Panthers out of here. We've basically been chartering this team all week this week. For those patrons out there, you'll have a chance to see all of those filmed. Actually live. We actually are doing live streams privately for patrons during the week. I hope that's fun. I don't know. But there's a lot of flights going on here with these charters. They just keep coming. And it's good for the airline. We make money off of him. So that's why we like it. We're in the MD-82 today. Obviously, this is blue fin. We're going to jump in. It's cold and dark right now. Everything's cold. And it's dark. You know, we've got the team. They're playing hockey. They're in the third period. Just getting ready to be done. We're going to go ahead and fire up the jet. Now, they flew this route last night, but we're simulating it tonight. And then tomorrow night, after they're done with Ottawa, so they play Ottawa Senators tomorrow. We have a long one tomorrow night, folks. We're going all the way to Phoenix, Arizona. This is a long haul in the MD-82 tomorrow. So, and that'll be on our... that'll be for patrons as well. Get that going. Everybody's checking in. Sean is in the house. How are you, XP Aviation? How's it going, my friend? Hello, I don't know if you still remember me. I do. Hope you're doing well. E3N checking in as well. Gary from Down Under, how are you, my friend? Hopefully you're warming up. Spring's coming there in Australia, so that's cool. Let's jump into this thing and get this thing rolling. We got a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it in. Ooh, I didn't want to do that. Let's kind of reset that. We're parked all the way here in Philly. This is kind of the, it's called Atlantic Aviation. That's kind of where they're parking. And all of that stuff is real, actually, where they park and stuff. So this is the flight deck, obviously, in the MD-82. We're going to jump in here, and we're going to do a couple things. We're going to turn on the... Unfortunately, I'm going to have to burn the APU on this because they don't have... GPUs or anything like that out here, so we got to kind of on our own with that. We'll burn up the APU and we'll get that going. Okay, so we're going to go ground services, and then I'm just going to take the GPU off. There's a couple of things we're going to do first. When we're starting the APU first, we'll come up to the overhead here and we're going to go to the battery switch, just like normal. Battery switch is on. I can't see a darn thing, right? I can't see anything. So I'm going to turn on my light, and I'm going to flip that to lock it. And then you can see here, that's off, but I do got a battery switch. So we're going to actually turn on the start pump here, and that's going to inject fuel in the APU. All right, you can see the inlet fuel. I'm going to go ahead and throw the right switch to the on position, and then we're going to fire the APU. Okay, so APU coming on. We're going to go start, and we're going to hold it. We're just going to hold that for about 10 seconds until we can start seeing some RPM rotation here. There's the rotation. Throw it to run. Let's get outside. Let's hear this thing. And then we can start getting some lighting on the aircraft when the APU is fired up. I hate running the APU like this because it's just money out the window. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. We get here about an hour to 2 hours before the team arrives. Scheduled to depart. They're usually late. All right, looks like we've got a good run on the APU. There we go, power available. Now we're going to go up here to the APU. We've got great voltage, so we're going to turn that on. And we'll go ahead and turn off the lights. There we go. And then we'll get some lighting on the aircraft right now. So I'm going to turn on some lights. Get some overhead panels. I don't like it going too bright. We'll flood it out a little bit for now, and then we'll go ahead and turn those floods off here in a little later. Coming down here, just flood this out. We'll go ahead and throw the panel lights on. Back down here as well. Go panel lights there, and we'll just kick the flood up just a little bit. Not too much though. Otherwise, it gets crazy. So that's good. We got good lighting on the aircraft now. This is a little dark for my taste, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this up just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and flood out the MCP. I know the Islanders are playing tonight. I kind of wonder what's going on there and how they're doing. Don't tell me. I'm going to probably watch it later. Pops, how are you? Yeah, XP11. I hope you're doing well. Sure do. We had a little snafu on the old channel. I just ended up deleting it. Didn't want to, but it just kind of ended up that way. All right, we'll go ahead and throw the position light to position. Let's go outside the aircraft and let's do a little walk-around inspection. I'm going to go ahead and do that here in a minute. Let me get my FO running, and we'll start that. We'll call the fuel truck and get the fuel truck going. Let's start setting up.
Roger.
All right, he's going to start setting up the aircraft. We're going to go outside, and we're going to do a little pre-flight inspection here, maybe. All right. And then we'll call GSX to come over. I'm going to get it to kind of where you would be standing. A little bit higher than that. This kind of wing, that's about right. This kind of wing right here, this is where you would start. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn on GSX. Let's see if they can come out and get this airplane going. It looks like they can't. I'm at a parking area where it's, you know, I'm not in an actual parking spot, just because the way they have the parking, it puts my nose right on top of the grass, which is kind of a bummer, but that's what they do. Oh, one thing I got to do is start my ACARS program. Yeah, E3N, you like how I simulate as real as it gets? Well, I'll tell you what, this airline at Coastal, everything is simulated to a T, even our fuel burn, money, everything. So I'll tell you what makes or breaks us on how well or how not well we do. So we're going Philly, Fort Lauderdale, click load. This is our ACARS system. We're going to click start flight. They're going to hear a doo-doo. There it is. There's our aircraft right up there, and we're in Philly. So that's where we are on the airport, right in this general aviation area. Let's go ahead and we'll jump back inside the aircraft. I'm just going to walk around it. Oh, I hate when that happens. I got to reset it really quick. One last time. We would be about right, a little higher, about right. That's not about right. It's just a little higher than that. That's about it right there. Take a look. Your pitot static coming across. That looks good. Again, right here, I know it's dark. You probably can't see a darn thing. You check your wheels, leading edge devices, lighting. That looks good. Static ports, static wicks. Take a look up in the engine, see if you see any birds or anything like that. This thing's been sitting here a day or two, so that's what we'll board them. Look at the elevator. I will get the lighting turned on the aircraft here in a minute. Our FO is running through the stuff now. He'd actually have all those lights on for us. Looks good. Let's get back in the flight deck and we'll start our flows. How's that? All right. He's doing that. We're going to come up on the overhead. And one thing I have to do is kind of come up here like this. APU is ground power service. That's fine. That's good. That's capped. Test this. That's our cargo fire suppression. Loops are on. That's good. You just test your loops. Make sure the lights are good. So we have all our loops. Great. The panel is set. I can always turn that down a little bit as we get closer. Circuit breakers are good. That's going to come on. I'm actually going to turn on the air system, get the AC going in the aircraft, heating at this particular point. And then the air is coming on. There we go. We got air in the duct. Air's going to come on the aircraft, and we're going to dial in and drill down.
Hi, Captain. How are you feeling today?
Thanks. Well. All right. We'll come over here. Position in it. We're going to be referencing our airport here. We're going to go Kilo Philly, PHL. There he goes. He just turned the light on for us. Thank you. We're going to click that. We'll click that. Route. We're going to go Philly to Fort Lauderdale. It's about 2 hours and 50 minutes. Depending on winds up there, we'll see how we can go. Fort Lauderdale. Co-route. Throw that up there. Great. Now, Philly is reporting runway 8 for departure, and we're going to go 17. The winds are 060 at 4. So, 060 at 4, they're landing, they're taking off runway 9. They said they're taking off, landing, departing 9 left, 8. Well, we can't go on 8. That's too short of a runway. They took off on 17 yesterday. I would like, if there's no air traffic control, I'd like to take off 17. That's just going to be a 90-degree crosswind. It's no big deal. It's only 4 knots, so I think we can handle that. That'll be better for us. We just pretty much go south, and then we get the heck out of Dodge. If ATC comes on, we're going to have to actually do the runway that they assign us. So right now, I'm going to plan runway 17. And before I do anything, make any commitments to you, let's take a look. That's 6,500 feet. I don't like that idea. We're going to take, we had that at Midway, so we took off at Midway no problem, but it was a little more fuel, so we'll just take 9 left today. So it's a long taxi, but I can show you a Philly at least, right? So we're going to go 9 left departing. Yes, so we're going to go 9 left to depart. We'll click departures here. We're going to go ahead and click 9 left first. We'll get the runway plugged in. There is no SID, the Philly 2. It's probably where we end up flying here. And we're going to do the arrival and the arrival into Fort Lauderdale. And I knew I forgot something. I forgot to add my paperwork, my release. I got to get my release in here. That was stupid. So we're going out west tomorrow. West Coast run. That's going to be fun, folks. We're going to LA, San Jose, and then I think Anaheim. I don't know. I think Anaheim's in there, but I don't think we're flying to Anaheim. I think they'll take the bus there. But we'll park it in. Wait a minute. We'll park it in LA. So that's going to be fun. Okay, note. I'll put this in the right release here. Port done. Great. All right, now I can pull my paperwork in there and get that going. All right. Tags are made, by the way. These are done. I think I've showed you this. And the lanyards are done. So if you want a lanyard and a tag, let me know. It's pretty cool. Proud supporter of, we support our veterans and law enforcement with the good old American flag on it. That says a couple cool stuff too. And then our ID badge is for pilots that actually go through training and pass the training. And that one's a freebie. Okay, let's go into this and let's see where my paperwork is. We're going from Philly, so that's a P. That's like all the way on the bottom here. I'm trying to get it.
Shear, headwind, shear, headwind, shear. Tailwind, shear, tailwind, shear, tailwind, shear.
Holy cow, where are you? There we go, Philly. I got it. All right, comments. Watching the game. Good, Pops. It was probably in third period. I started watching it. Where are we flying today? We're going from Philly to Fort Lauderdale. Oh, by the way, ever thought of flying to Aruba? Yes. You're from there? Yes. So I'll give you an idea. The coastal plans, if you've ever gone to the website, flycoastalairways.com, or you can go to, if you're on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. There's a lot of cool stuff in the making. Really good destinations coming up. The Caribbean, all of the Caribbean. is on my radar. So we've got to make sure where we could go. We've got good emplacements and stuff like that. So nothing is done by throwing darts that we do. Everything is done by, if we were realistically operating an airline, where would we want to fly? That's kind of how we look at this. So yeah, Aruba's on the radar. I mean, nowhere in the Caribbean is going to be exempt, is what I'm trying to say. So a lot, Curacao right next to Aruba, so all of those things are really looked at, which is cool. Yes, so eventually I want to do that. Gary wants a tag. You got it, buddy. You guys ever seen a UFO on a flight? I believe I saw one in the sky just disappeared. Yeah, there's some. We had some. My buddy saw one actually, which was weird. But he did see one. All right, we're gonna be doing the CUDA 2, and we're going into Magic. Maybe Magic. We'll call that Magic. How's that? And then I'll figure the runway as we get a little closer. I'll go activate, execute, and then pref init.
Hi, the security and safety check are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Go for it.
Okay.
All right, she's going to start boarding the aircraft.
Restart check completed to the line.
All right, he's done with his flows. We're doing 60 passengers. We've got to change this to 3,000. You folks know the drill by now. 3,000, nothing there, and then we're going to load the fuel. So we're going to call our fueler up. We're doing, show you the paperwork so you folks could see what kind of what's scheduled here. All right, we've got 3350, 3450 in the tanks. We've got a total of 6,800. We're burning that APU, so that's going to draw it down. We're going to put 92, 92, 45, 22.9 total. So that's kind of what the fuel dispatch wants us to have. So we'll go ahead and plug those numbers in right here. 9,200. We're putting 4,500 in the center tank. And then again, 9,200 in the 2 main tanks. These are your wing tanks, folks, if you didn't know that. Now you do. And then we'll click that, and you can see how this is going to pull our takeoff weight, or takeoff weight CG, 19.7. Pretty much the way it's going, because we know the load now. Like, that's what's so good about charter flights. You know the load going out. So it's not like takeoff weight's going to be 119.1. I've got that loaded in there. And then click this. We'll go to here, and then we'll click that. You can see 92, 45, 92, and then we're just going to select that. That means we're going to start getting fuel. The fuel is in there. We'll actually call for boarding as well. So just going to start the boarding process. The team's here, and we're going to start rolling up. You can see how dark it is outside. It's massive dark. These are done in the night. How'd you like that? All right, so let's go and finish up our stuff here. Zero fuel weight. I've got 97,000. We'll put that up there. Zero fuel. We're going to pump in 22.9 when we get the heck out of here. So 22,900 slash, I want to say N. That does it. And then we're doing reserves. I believe our paperwork said the release on the reserves gives us about 8,000. We don't want to land with less than 7. 7.0 on the reserves. Cost index 35. We're going to cruise up to 36,000 feet. 360. We do have some weather on our route. I'll show you that a little bit as we get closer. I'll show you kind of where the weather is, but we're going to be above it. The weather right now, tops of those clouds are 30,000. We're going to be at 36. So we'll be way over the top of that stuff. We just got to make sure this aircraft is going to climb there, which it will. It's pretty light. 254 at 86. 254/86. We're going to drop that in there. So we have a nice crosswind essentially coming at us. Once we get to the top of climb, it's going to be negative 53 up on top. Negative 53 top of climb. We'll throw that right there. And then we're going to click takeoff. And once we do that, you can see what our EPR says, 1.91. Now, if we're going to take 9 left, 9,500 feet, we are going to do a reduced, or in this particular case, an assumed temperature, just because it helps with the engines and everything else. So they're starting to board right now. We're going to go into our performance here. And then let's get this going. Once we get the performance going, we'll go back in. We'll get the ATIS, and I already got the ATIS, by the way. I drilled in, got the ATIS. So winds 060 at 4. 060 at 4. Temperature right now is 10. Nice and cold. I love it. This is my kind of weather. If I didn't hit the back button, it would be fantastic. Runway is going to be 9 left. 9 left, flap optimum. That is not true. We're going to go flap 11 on takeoff. That's kind of be our standard here. Now listen to this. Look at the altitude, altimeter, 30.50. I don't think I've ever seen a higher pressure. I'm sure there is, but I can't remember the last time I saw something like that high. That's pretty high. 30.50. That's great. That means it's really good weather out here. Takeoff weight is going to be about 119,000 when it's all said and done. Let's see here, 119.1. So 119.1. We do have merch too, by the way. We've got hockey shirts, pretty cool stuff. I think that's going to be in the description. If it's not, there it is, right there. It is flycoastalairways.myspreadshop.com. You can check out a whole bunch of pretty cool stuff there, and that's get all your stuff there. It's pretty cool. We've got hockey shirts, straight out of the penalty box shirts, fun stuff. All right, we've got 140, and I just ordered a hoodie that says Coastal Hockey Charters. Pretty cool. And the hoodie is really comfortable, actually. I like it. So 50 degrees. You know, we're going to go 45. Just going to play a little conservative. We're going to go 45 degrees on the cell temp. Runway is going to be 9 left. Let me write this down for you so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm writing this is our flight sheet. Kind of we give all of our pilots. There's 100 of these pages, so it's their logbook. And you can just keep using them. So I got V1 125. We're going to go with 131. We've got 140 coming in, and we're looking at slat at 181. That's our slat retraction speed, or V-slat as we call it, for maneuvering. All right, that looks good. Our performance numbers are in. I like that. Let's go ahead and check our... That is the oxygen. That looks good. And I'm actually going to throw some floor lights on there so we can see kind of what we're doing, and then we'll turn everything off here in a minute. Down back over here, we're going to go 125, 131, and then we're going to do some fun stuff like old school legs wind data. None of this insert data link crap, which I wish we had it on this aircraft, to tell you the truth. All right, so we're going to go to our legs page. Let's check out what our release says and make sure that they coincide with each other and they're playing well. All right, we're doing the Philly 2, and we'll get to that here in a minute. I'm not too concerned giving you a brief just yet. I do want to just make sure that we are going to... I'm just going to pull the Philly 2 in here really quick for us. It's pretty simple. It's just runway heading. Okay, DuPont. All right, so we got vectors to DuPont, which is OOD. And then we've got TB over to Haydu. TB, Haydu. Next page, we've got SBY. Okay, then Kemper. Kemper's our first waypoint that I'm concerned with. So let's take a look at Kemper. You can see Kemper's right here, so we'll take a look at this number right there, 255 at 84. What do we got for the route data? So we'll flip this to route data and see what we've got at Kemper, 254 at 86. So that is good to go, right? So I'm going to give that a check mark. At 255 is forecasted. We've got 84. 10 knots or 10 degrees, we got to make the change. So ILM is next, 261 at 70. We're still good. All right, so that I'm going to give a check mark. We don't have to make any changes just yet. Austin, 263, very close. At 55, we do have to make a change here because we're dropping below that number. So 263 at 55 at Austin. So Austin, whatever this is, 255, what did we say? 263, excuse me. So we're going to go 263/55 knots, and that's going to bring us into Austin here, and then the rest of the legs, we'll take a look at the rest of the reg data for us. So we've made that adjustment here, just a little star, 270, We're good. 48's a problem. That's fine as well, so we're going to give that a check mark. 285, that changes again. 34, and then you can see how we're on the arrival already, so that's really nice. You can see how we're doing this. 285 at 34, so I'm going to put that in here. 285, and you can say, why are you doing all this? Well, it just helps the computer compute everything, right? We've got Plump after that, then Birdman, Jinx, and then Holt, Weehoo, Mackerel, Cuda, Locker, and then we'll see where we're going here on vectors. So that's good. All that is good to go. I like what I see here. That's fantastic. Cruising at 36,000. That is that. They're estimating 10.6. All right. He's done there. I'm going to do my flows really quick. That's all normal. Coming down here, those are good. These are on gens. Those are on. These are off. I can't tell if that's on. That is on. Cross bus tie is good. We've got heating and air conditioning into the aircraft right now, so that's fine. Those are good. This is just a quick down and dirty.
Hi
Deemer.
guys, here is the load sheet for you.
Throw those on. Good. Emergency power on. Lights good. I'm just checking that. He's done that. We've got a load sheet. Cruising altitude or landing altitude is approximately in Fort Lauderdale is at 65 feet. So about right there. And then I do not know the pressure yet. We'll get that as we get closer. Those are on auto. We've got good air through there. That's coming off. You could do this if you wanted to. This is old school, but 1028 is the 28th. All right, and then we got 10. Flight number is 5800. Now this is for the flight recorder. They don't have a DFDR like they do today's day. How do you like that? That was all checked. He checked all that. Cockpit flood. I'm going to go ahead and throw that on just because I want some lighting. All that's good to go. Ram air, that's good. Annunciator test, I'm sure he's done that. We will set this to on. We're going to run the checklist first. I'm just going through my stuff. We're going to go ahead and set our... That's good. That's good. Floor lights, we will turn those off as we're getting ready to rock and roll. Looks like we're boarded up. All right. What do we say on our speeds? And I'll get your comments here in a minute. I've got 140 on the speed. Let's go ahead so you can see what's going on here. How's that? Okay, we got 140 on the speed. I'll drag that over there. That's going to be our V2 speed. So I'm going to bring it up to 140. A little more heavy on the fuel than last time. Midway to here was pretty quick. We're going to climb up to an altitude. Looks like pretty much straight 245 on the heading. So our heading is 245. Go the other way. Do I want to hear the score? No, I'm going to watch it later. So don't tell me the score. The Islanders were playing. There was a pretty darn good game after the first period. So 240. Who are they playing again? I forgot. We're going to go to the 15. We're up on the altitude. We're going to climb up to an altitude of 5,000. Probably going to blow through that just because we're going to climb pretty good. Flight directors are on. That's good. They're all set. And everything else is good. Art switch is coming on, folks. We're going to go throw that to auto, and we're going to set our temperature, assumed temperature here. Takeoff flex. We're going to set it at 45. Okay, so we are flexing down to 45. 9100, 45 in the center, 22.7. We'll go ahead and just check this, make sure that's good. It is. It's set at 97,200. I just want to make sure that's what we got on our zero fuel here. Zero fuel weight, 97,000. Straight up. All right. Let's run our checklist, folks, and let's get out of Dodge. We'll go ahead and douse the lights here, and then we'll get going. I do need to change this altitude heading and altitude hold. You see this right here? I'm just going to click my toga. You can see you have takeoff. That's what you want to do on this aircraft. Oil, 1416. Hydraulic, 1717. We're good on that. I think we've checked this. Those are our fire warnings. That looks good, and I'm sure he checked it. I just didn't hear it. He could have. All right, let's go to the do a checklist. We're going to call this below the line. This is going to be pre-flight below the line, and we'll get it going. How's that? Pre-start. Pre-start below the line. Pre-start checklist below the line.
Covers and pins.
Removed.
Aircraft log and documents.
Checked on board.
Altimeters.
Set.
Fuel, oil, hydraulic quantities.
Checked.
Zero fuel weight.
Checked. Set.
TRP.
Flex. Takeoff flex temp. Takeoff flex. 45 takeoff flex.
Stabilizer.
Stand by. Guess what? Guess what we forgot? That. Dial a flap. One of the things we need to do. All right, so CG, we're going to come up here to 19.7 is our CG. So you dial this. This is so unique on the MD-80. It's amazing. 19.7 is about right there-ish. And then our flap, we're going to take off with flap 11. Okay, so you're going to dial this down to flap 11. And it's going to give you a setting right there. Long trim. And this is about standard for us. It's looking like just, average about 0.5. Pretty much every flight we've taken, it's been that. So this is called the suitcase handle. You're just going to pull that down. Let it go, and I'll use the yoke, just checking them both ways, both directions. That's good to go. Okay, so we're good here. I'm going to go 2200 as well, and then enter, and then we will set this as well, just to 11, so I don't have to trust him doing it. He's almost killed me like 4 or 5 times, this guy. You got to pay attention. All right, flap 11, set. All right, so right back to the checklist. 0.5 set. Repeat last.
Stabilizer.
0.5 set. Set. Set and checked.
Flaps takeoff selector.
Stowed.
Speed bugs.
Set.
Pre-start check below the line completed.
Thank you. Are you ready for departure briefing? Are you ready for the departure briefing?
Go ahead.
So, folks, what we're going to do today, I'll show you where we're going, what we're doing, and all that good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and load our flight in. We're going to pull the, I'm just going to click on load here, and then we're going to click this, and we're going to load in our new flight from SimBrief. We're going to call that SimBrief. Cool Navigraph feature here that we have. And you can see the Philly SID here. We're going to just turn that off. I'm going to click departure. The Philly 2 departure here. It's just pretty much straight out. And I'll actually show you the chart. Just a little easier. So we're going to go ahead and pull the chart in. I'll show you what we're doing. Airport info and then our SID here. So there's our SID pretty much. You could see. Yeah, you take a look off your notes. Climb heading assigned by ATC exceptions. Runway 27 right, 7 left. Climbing left turn heading 245. So we don't even need to go that way. We actually have to change our heading to 090. So we're going to climb 090 straight out. Make a turn over to OOD, which is Woodstown via War. I'll go plug that in. 112.8, and that's pretty much it. So you can see it's not very hard out of here. It's just runway heading, and then we'll make a right turn out. That sound good? Our taxi route today, we are, over here on this FBO ramp. We're going to go ahead and fire it up. We'll probably just go down the south apron, go down Delta, across the 8 runway here, go all the way down to Hotel or Kilo. This looks like Kilo to us, and let's go across. We'll cross Kilo, cross this runway 1735. We'll go down Kilo all the way down to Whiskey, and then we'll take Whiskey outbound here. Got it? that's kind of what we'll do. That's our plan. Hopefully that'll work for you as well. Weather's good. We've got no issues on the weather. Just your standard stuff. So we're going to go here 112.8. And we're going to get ready for startup here soon. Just got word the team's on. So we're ready. Where are we going here? 5,000. We have to change the heading bugs. 090. If you had to land 30 minutes after takeoff, would you be overweight from landing? Oh, the link is cut off, huh? That sucks. No, not in this particular weight, Gary. We wouldn't be. We're in good shape in this particular configuration. Now, if we have a lot more passengers or more fuel, yeah, we could be overweight. So, good question. You got to take all that in consideration. Okay, folks, clearance, we don't need it. Let's go ahead and we're going to turn down the lighting. So we get the lighting turned down now. I'll start kind of getting the floodlights off and start getting our night vision going here. You can see I'll just turn that up. When we get to cruise, we can really start turning some stuff down. But right now, we're just going to start turning off some floods.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board today. As you locate your assigned seat, please place your smaller items under the seat in front of you to provide more room for larger items in our overhead compartment. If you need assistance, contact the flight attendant. If you are unable to accommodate any item in the cabin, please bring it to the
Crossfeeds are
boarding
open.
door
That's
and we will
good.
check it for you.
Takeoff arm.
Also review the safety instruction card
Floodlights are
in
coming
your
off.
seat pocket.
Paddle lights are
If
coming
you are
down.
seated at an exit seat, also review the exit seating criteria.
Cockpit flood. Let's turn that off. All right, one more light here. Flip that off. Good. We're going to clear that. All right, folks. We're ready to go. We're actually ready to start. We're going to make sure the aircraft's doors are closed. Now it's beautiful, huh? We're going to go ahead and fire up. The doors closed. We got to get that aft door closed, and then we're going to start up and make that turn. We're only going to fire one engine today just because of I want to save fuel on taxi and all that good stuff. So what we're going to do is come down here. We actually have to turn a pump on. Turn the pump on, come over here, and I'm going to close that aft stair. Good deal. Looking good. Come over to here, wait and balance. We can go ahead and turn that pump off. All right, back up. Now, I got to turn this light off because I'm taxiing and I got to be able to see where I'm going. So for right now, I'm just going to turn that light off. Hopefully it's not too blue. And if it is, I'll kick that light back on. But, right now I got to be able to see where we're going. Let's see here. 90. I'm taking the fuel departure. It's going to be 9100. Actually, I'm just going to put 92 because we're burning fuel from the APU. 4450. That's actually shorted us a little bit, dang it. I hate when they do that. That's probably because of the density of the fuel outside. 5, 6, 7. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 9 and 9 is 18. Oh, 22.870. So not too bad. I think it's just because of the stuff. All right, let's go in and fire it up. Any questions?
No questions.
Hey, thanks.
No problem. Have a safe flight.
Before start check.
Parking brakes.
Set.
Doors.
Closed.
Startup and pushback clearance.
Approved.
Before start check completed, ready for engine start.
We're going to start left engine.
Starting left engine. Left start valve open. N2, oil pressure.
Okay, the Anti-collision lights on. Got to make sure he's doing his job.
N1.
I want to make sure that. Yep, he did shut the supply off. That's good.
Fuel on.
Fuel's coming on. Fuel on. There's a light off. Start the
Fuel
clock.
flow. EGT. Left start valve closed.
Good spin up. Pressure's coming up. Generator's online.
Stabilizing. Stabilized.
Okay, we're going to do our taxi right now, and we're going to get this aircraft taxiing. We're going to taxi on one engine, and then we'll start the next segment, and then we'll have to do a taxi test, a taxi check. Okay, so we're going to do a quick taxi check right now. We're going to go, this stupid truck, we're going to go speed brake, and then I'm just going to bring the flap down to 11 right now, just because. All right, hold on. Okay, we're good. Clear this. I got to go 122.8 really quick. The landing weight gross on this aircraft's 129.9. So yeah, you're right. 130, I think you said. That's exactly right. 128. No, 122.8. I set on 2200. That's good. Floods off. All right, you ready, folks? Going to dim. Brakes coming off. Hard to see, isn't it? All right, we're going to go ahead and start the aircraft and start rolling this airplane. Dude, we need to get the heck out of my way, man. What is he doing? There we go. Get him out of there. I don't know why he was confused, but he was confused. All right, here we go.
On behalf of the flight crew, welcome aboard. We hope you enjoy your flight. Thank you.
Let's kind of call him up. Philadelphia Airport, Coastal 5800, taxi runway 9er left, Philly. There's a big old MD-80 right here, so we are not standard in terms of where we could taxi off. We could get on Alpha, which is fine, which is probably too small. I wonder if I could, yeah, I'm going to have to. Well, could I get on, yeah, I'm going to have to, I'll make the turn right now. Make the turn on Alpha, this way we don't have to push the throttle up a little bit more, get the aircraft rolling, then we can start the turn. Alright, I do want to make sure that we're going to isolate start ventilating the cabin here. That's the wrong switch. There we go. So you want to make sure that that is on auto, number 1, and then we're going to start number 2 with the APU. There we go. Hopefully I can get outside and get you a good picture of the aircraft as we're taxiing. But this thing is so long. There we are. Just want to make sure that, and it's really touchy on the rudders. I'll pull that power back just a little bit. Okay, let's see if we can get out. Get a picture. It's pretty, I'll tell you right now. I say it every flight, but it's a pretty jet. We'll do our controls and everything when we get the other aircraft started, the other engine started. On our way, folks. Okay, we're gonna make a, we're making a left on a Delta. This is Alpha 3. So it's the next turn. Get over. There we go. Actually, I have to turn on this. The next one was Delta. That's fine. Philadelphia traffic. Riptide 5800 taxiing onto runway 8. Crossing runway 8 on Alpha 3. Looks good on that side. It's always a challenge taxiing here at night. Taxiing anywhere at night's a challenge, to be honest. So we're just going to come in, kind of kitty corner this thing, and there's Delta right there. So we're going to go ahead onto Delta, and then we'll cross over all the way down Kilo, which is going to be better for us. So you can see why we don't want to start two engines. If you can imagine, we'll be all over the place trying to ride the brake, slowing the aircraft down because there's no weight on the airplane. So if there's no weight on the airplane, it generally is harder to control. I found with the weight we have on the aircraft, it's very, very tough. If you can believe that. Alright, let me do something really quick. Click, setup. It's going to drop down that brightness. Perfect. Alright, you can see we're coasting, cruising now. Got almost power to come into idle a little bit. About 20, we'll taxi about 25. There's Kilo, which we want. Alright, so we're going to turn down a Kilo here. And we're going to go ahead and cross the other runway, 35. Philadelphia traffic, Riptide 5800 crossing 35, Philly. Alright, clear on that runway. We're good there on the right side. Clear on the left side. I would venture to guess that November we could start, starting the engine here. I'm going to push that throttle up, try to get as fast as I can across this runway. You would actually want to turn your lights on when you did that. So you would turn those on, cross the runway, and then go ahead and turn them off. And I'm going to keep them extended. Alright, now we're cooking with gas. So we're going to taxi down this Kilo for a while. And we'll keep going on and get a picture over here. This, unfortunately, nobody has done this airport yet, and I really would love to see some scenery here. It's a shame because Philly's a pretty darn busy airport. Even Phoenix needs to be done. You know, and that's not done either. So I don't know what the crap they're doing there. That's a nice little shot. Game is over. You want the score? No, I don't want the score. That's because I'm going to watch the game. So I don't want the score. All right, one thing I want to do is line up the taxiway. Now, a cool thing to do is try to get the nose gear right on this taxiway, okay? And let's see if we can match it up dead on it. And if we can, once we get the nose gear right on the taxiway, like just a little crank over like that, we're going to go back in the flight deck, and I want to see where this taxiway lines up. And you can see where it lines up, right? It's like sitting in this seat, it's like just right there, right next to the windshield wiper, like right over here. We're drifting. There we go. That's probably perfect. All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and fire up the other engine. So I'm going to go to idle. I want to call him and tell him to fire start right engine. Start right engine.
Starting right engine. Right start valve open. N2, oil pressure. N1. Fuel on.
Fuel's on.
Fuel flow, EGT. Right start valve closed.
Start clock. Good start. Alright, let's go ahead and turn off the APU. Alright, let's go ahead and do a
Stabilizing.
checklist.
Stabilized.
Welcome on board our flight today. This is the lead flight attendant speaking. Please direct your attention
After start
to the cabin
checklist.
crew for important safety
Ignition.
information.
Off.
There is an instruction card in your
Electrical
seat
loads.
pocket that illustrates the
Checked.
safety equipment on this
Air
aircraft.
conditioning supply.
Regulations require compliance
Auto.
with this information as well
Galley
as all
power.
crew instructions, lighted information
On.
signs, and postings.
Ice protection panel.
Placards fasten your seatbelt by
Set.
inserting the metal tip into the buckle. Tighten by pulling on the belt to release your seatbelt.
Off.
Lift a metal flap
Pneumatic
on the
crossfeed valve levers.
buckle. It is our
Closed.
policy that you keep your seatbelt
Flight
fastened
controls.
at all times while seated. Doors are clearly marked with exit signs
Checked.
and instructions for door operation. Each
Set
door is
checked.
equipped with an escape slide.
Hydraulic pumps and
Locate
pressure.
the exit nearest you.
Set.
The nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency,
Checked.
lights will illuminate the
Annunciator panel.
The cabin is pressurized.
Checked.
If there is a loss of
Ground
cabin
equipment.
pressure, a panel will open
Removed.
and oxygen masks will appear.
All clear signal.
Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened.
Received.
And pull a mask towards you to
Flaps,
stop the flow of
slats.
oxygen. Oxygen will be flowing to the
11
mask
set.
so the bag may not inflate.
Set and
Cover
checked.
your nose and mouth with the
After
mask.
start check completed.
Place the elastic band around your head and tighten
We're
by
clear on the
pulling
left.
chin.
Wipers
Use
off.
your own mask before assisting others.
Clear on the left.
Your seat bottom cushion may be used as a flotation
We
device.
are cleared on the left.
Pull up and remove the
We
cushion.
are clear on the right.
Upon exiting the aircraft,
Taxi check.
place your arms around the
Fuel
cushion
heat.
and hold on to the strap
Off.
located on the back.
Flaps and
This
slats.
is a non-smoking flight.
Set.
Smoking is not permitted in the cabin
Set and
or
checked.
laboratory.
Eperbugs
Cabin
and
lights will now
TRP.
be turned off.
Set checked.
Reading light buttons are located
Takeoff
above your
speeds.
seat.
Set.
Thank you for your attention.
Verified.
Takeoff briefing.
Completed. Performed.
ATC flight guidance systems and nav aids.
Set checked.
FMS.
Set checked.
APU air and master switch.
Should be off. Off. Both off.
Brake temperature and pressure.
Checked.
Taxi check completed.
Okay. Got to turn here, folks. We're going to have a real hard...
Ignition.
No. Request taxi clearance. Request taxi clearance. It's all jacked up. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because I thought I said something I didn't. All right, you ready to go? I'm going to come in here, lock this thing up, make sure he's ready to go, and we'll call it. I heard somebody, they said they're taxiing or something. I didn't hear who, I didn't hear where. We're ready to go, 9 left. Maddie, how are you? Maddie G says, hello, I was a Mad Dog departing O'Hare a few nights ago as you were landing Midway 7. Nice. Cool, welcome aboard. Yeah, these are fun. Fun airplane. Let me just make sure that ATC is not going to yell or scream or... No, we're good to go. Looks like we've got clear on the ATC, folks. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the Philly 2 and try to get this checklist going here. Set and checked.
Electrical loads.
Set and checked.
Air conditioning supply.
Auto.
Galley power.
On.
Ice protection panel.
Off.
Pneumatic crossfeed valve levers.
Closed.
Flight controls.
Checked. Checked and set. Set and checked.
Hydraulic pumps and pressure.
On. Checked.
Annunciator panel.
Checked.
Ground equipment.
Removed.
All clear signal.
Received.
Flaps, slats.
Set and checked.
After start check completed.
We are cleared on the left.
We are clear on the right.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, he thinks we're in the taxi setup now. Taxi check.
Fuel heat.
Off.
Flaps and slats.
Set. Checked.
Eeper bugs and TRP.
Set. Set and checked.
Takeoff speeds.
No changes.
Takeoff briefing.
Complete. Performed.
ATC flight guidance systems and nav aids.
Set and checked.
FMS.
Set. Checked.
APU air and master switch.
Both off.
Brake temperature and pressure.
Set and checked.
Taxi check completed.
Okay. Lineup checklist.
Cabin.
Secured.
Windows.
Left side closed.
Right side closed. Annunciator panel.
Checked.
Ignition.
Set to alpha.
Air conditioning supply.
Auto.
Transponder set to TARA. Takeoff clearance.
Received.
Lineup check completed.
Okay. Ready. All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead and throw these the on position. Our landing lights are coming on. Bright on the nose. The heck was that? All right, here we go. You guys ready? I think we're ready. We're going to go ahead and depart straight out on 9 left. The pavement says 9 left. We are on 9 left. Let's call them up, let them know what's going on. Stop the brakes right here. We burned like another 4,000 pounds just doing this stupid checklist again. You can see I'm not happy about it. Philadelphia traffic, Riptide 5800, taking off runway 9 left, Philly. Okay, folks, turn to the right after departure. Bring them up. I'm going to go 1.4 on the Eeper. Bring them up. Start your timing. We already got that done. Auto throttle is on armed. We're going to go power.
Takeoff thrust set.
Thrust is set.
Clamp.
Clamps on. Give it a little bit of kick there on the rudder. It's just
80 knots.
Just in that back pressure a little bit. Airplane, get on.
V1.
Go.
Rotate.
Rotating. Nice and smooth. I'm gonna get that little rudder in there. Get that airplane. What is it doing?
Positive rate.
Gear up. Gear up.
Gear up selected.
Gear up. Lights out.
Alright folks, what I'm going to do is just get the airplane turning this direction into the OOD VOR, Woodstown VOR. You can see about 15 miles away. We're just going to keep turning the aircraft. I'm going to do a nice standard turn here, and we're going to start cleaning up the flaps. Flaps up.
Flap 0.
Slats retract.
Slats retracted.
Set climb thrust. Climb thrust. Climb check.
Seatbelts.
Auto.
Climb check complete.
Arm navigation.
Navigation is armed.
Autopilot on.
Autopilot 1 is on.
VNAV. Engage VNAV.
Check.
Engage VNAV.
VNAV is engaged.
Alright, so you see what's happening right now? The airplane's turning because it doesn't know we're on vectors. So it's just kind of moseying around here. So we got to tell it what leg to fly, and it's going to be OOD. And I'm going to go click execute. The airplane's going to turn. Should level out, start turning. And we want to make sure on a VNAV climb, but you see the airspeed's low. So the airplane's going to start dropping. Now I'm going to kind of throw this off. It's on the low side. I'm watching it. We're good there. That's coming off. That's coming off. Now we're going to get some airspeed. We're going to climb. I'm going to set this. It's really a pain in the neck when you're dealing with FS2 crew and it doesn't do what you want it to do. And the only reason why it turned to the left is because of simply that. It wasn't set. So we were on vectors. All right, here we go through 10,000 feet. We're going to cycle the no smoking sign. That lets the flight attendants know what's going on. We've already done our climb check, and I'm going to actually look at our pressurization, making sure we're climbing okay. Good, the airplane's going to level off. We're going to get some airspeed. All right, we've got some good airspeed now. I want to make sure everything is up and all is good to go. That's good, that's good, that's good. 2200 there. That is now off. And we are now flying. We're increasing our airspeed. You can see if we're starting to get the bumps, we're going to have to start slowing down the aircraft a little bit until we can get to turbulent penetration speed, which is going to be about 235 knots at this. Man, look at that. That's pretty. Oh, nothing but loud smoke coming off this aircraft. That's what I'm talking about. There's Philly right there. We just departed from. That's pretty. That's pretty. Let's get a shot. Cool. All right, I'm going to turn the light on for us. All right. Okay, we're at Woodstown VOR. We're going to start turning away from that. And we are going to go down to... Yep, there we go. And I don't know why it's stuttering on me, but it is. Burn that gas. Yes, sir. Matty G says, yes, sir. Love the dog lurking from work 2 hours ago. Yeah. Cool. All right, we'll do a climb check. Art switch should be off. I'll make sure that that is off. We're on Takeoff flex. It should not be on there anymore. I really can't see. That's capped now. And this should be on climb. So we're going to set that to climb. We already did our climb check. I'm going to select climb power. Select climb power.
Climb power is set.
All right. There's 14,000. We're doing okay. This dang light in my face is just... That's why I can't have it on. It's just... Whoa. It's a blinder for me. Maybe not for you, but it is for me. It's hard for me to see what's going on here. So 14,000 feet, I mean, there's nothing to see on the nose. You know, you could just see that. There's nothing out there. Just nothing. A couple things we're going to check here as we climb through. We've already identified flaps and slats, made sure they were up and good to go. So that's good. Well, that's it. Penn, what's going on, man? How are you? Sean says, I think Phoenix is on its way. Yeah, it's on its way. I hope that's a good thing. And I think I got everybody's comments. So, awesome. We're flying southbound at Haydu. Let's see, what VOR? We've got Salisbury VOR. I want to tune that in. That's going to be 111.2. I don't know if we're going to get it, but we're going to try it. 111.2. That's what I liked about the Mad Dog. It's right in front of us here that we can just dial this in. And I'm learning this aircraft, folks. I mean, it's very quirky. It's not like the 737. I mean, the 737 has its quirks, but not like this aircraft. This aircraft is... I always say it. If you're not paying attention, or it'll bite you in the butt. All right, we got to do transition. Transition.
Set.
All right, folks. Transition altitude 29902 on both sides, and I'm going to do it on the standby. 29er, 9er, 1, 9er, 2. And then we'll shut off all the lights at 20,000. I think that's just standard stuff for the FS2 crew. I wish it would. I wish I could manipulate the flows the way I want the flows to be, because it's not like that. You know, not right now. I had to turn that down. That was just killing me. That's the Imagineer. When you're flying the Mad Dog and then go fly the... When you fly the Mad Dog and then go fly the same route in something like an A320, all right, or a 737, and you notice how much less the fuel consumption is. Do you need an arm out or no? There's 20,000 climb. So we've got 30. Let me just check that. We've got 36,000, and we're climbing on VNAV climb, so it's going to hold us at VNAV on 36,000 feet. So I'm not going to actually set it. We'll see what happens. We'll watch it. How's that? If she wants to blow through the altitude, you have to do that on descent. So when you change your descent, anytime you change this knob, you have to actually set it again. So like on a descent, you change the knob, you have to hit VNAV every time. So, you know, you pull it out, push it in. It doesn't really simulate very well on this. Do you ever see that where it's like it doesn't simulate the tens or the hundreds? Not very well, at least. I don't know. Let me know if there's a quick setting, something on the mouse I could click, because that would really be helpful. All right, so I just tuned this VOR in. Obviously, nothing's going on. It's a terminal VOR. It's a low VOR. So I don't even think we're going to get that VOR. We should. It's not a high at all. So 111.2. Yeah, we're probably not going to get it. I never flew the MD-80 before. Let me tell you, it's his experience. I mean, I'm learning the aircraft, reading the manuals, trying to stay on top of this thing, but it is a flippin' handful. I was talking to my dad earlier, and I'm like, this plane's a handful. It's not like it's, oh, I can just relax and do nothing. You know, you can't. You know, the 7.3, you're pretty confident in the autopilot. You know, generally, for the most part, you could be like, the autopilot's got the aircraft. We're good to go. Not this airplane. You can't do that. It just won't work in the MD-80, okay? It's just, it'll bite you. Like right now, we're at 24,000, and I'm watching the altitude like a hawk, right? Let's see here. Center tank, we're at 2750. We've got 83 and 85. On that 83, we're a couple hundred pounds off because of that fuel on the left engine we started first. So that burns the fuel. Yeah, this thing burns a ton of gas. But the cool thing about this aircraft for coastal, and I've said this before in my streams, is that this airplane was dirt cheap for us. Okay, we got this at like 9.2 million, which you could say, oh, that's a amount of money. Yeah, I mean, it is. However, compared to a 737-700, we were paying $20 million for those, and we have 3 of them. Okay, this is our 4th aircraft. This airplane strictly does nothing but charter flights. So the cost is pretty much, it's not variable, right? So like a passenger route, you wouldn't know how many passengers are going to book. So you want to keep the cost as low as you possibly can. And that's true for charter as well. I'm not saying that. But you know what your costs are going to be. You know how much fuel is going to burn. So you can charge to cover it. Does that make sense? So you charge what the coverage is going to be. So we're getting $20,000 an hour for this airplane. Now the first hour is paying for fuel and crew, at least. So the first hour, we're spending maybe $26,000 with the fees we just had to incur out of Philly. By the way, we're not going to be servicing Philly anytime soon. It is ridiculously expensive. I think to land there, to all the servicing and crap like that, just the taxes to land there, it costs something like $1,500. And I know you can say, oh, that's a lot, or close to $2,000. Well, LaGuardia is expensive, right? LaGuardia, you heard me just griping on LaGuardia the whole time. It's really expensive. But this thing is, I mean, there's no way we would operate out of Philly just because it's too expensive. So we're looking for alternatives, to alternative airports. But in a charter operation like this, the team's paying for it, right? So you're baking that into the cost. You're baking it into your fee. You're saying, okay, it's going to cost you $25,000 the first hour, then $20,000 after that to cover costs on the aircraft. So really, this flight right now, we're going to be charging about $73,000 for this. But we won't make that, obviously, because we've got, you can knock off. We're probably going to get about 50, 55K, which is generally speaking a passenger revenue flight. If you look at it that way, it's just that in this aircraft, I would not want this airplane operating a revenue passenger flight just because of the variables. You don't know what you're going to get. You could get 20 passengers who are going to be eating fuel, okay? And it depends on the route, too. So a lot of those things really matter and count. Yeah. If you hold tab and turn it, oh, sweet. It'll do the hundreds, or you can left and then right click to turn and it'll do it in the hundreds. Probably easier to hold tab on the keyboard. Thank you. That's sweet. Yeah, I haven't read the manual. I haven't read that manual. I'm actually reading the actual aircraft manual. But yeah, I appreciate the help. That's going to be helpful when I have to do, 10.5 or something like that. So we're at 31,000 feet, folks. We're over at Salisbury. So we're going to be on basically Delaware, just kind of coming over Delaware right now, and I'll kind of have to show you where we are. I'll get this pulled up for us, and you can have a look-see-loo to see where we are. So this is our route of flight. We're taking it south. You can see the Salisbury's right here. This VOR is talking about. It's right there. We'll hit that VOR, and then we're going to pretty much go feet wet. We're kind of just going to go over the coastline a little bit. We won't get our feet wet until we go, I think this is, ILM. And then we're going to go feet wet straight pretty much when we're here at ILM, you know we're close. It's just a matter of taking to Magic, and then we're in. So very close. Not going to be too bad. I'll give you an ETA here soon. I don't know if the top bar is working. Is the bar working at all? And I'm talking about the 33,000. That's not the alarm. Still doing good, folks. We're doing good. We've got 75 knots now on the nose. That sucks. That's going to really delay us into the airport. But I'll get some fuel burn going. Once we get to the top of climb, we'll get some fuel burn figures. Just want to let you know we're burning 3.88. 3,800 pounds per hour per engine. So what, 65-ish? 66? It's a lot. I mean, considering these are low bypass engines. These are not very high bypass or very low bypass ratio, so that's hence you're not getting the fuel. It's not sipping gas. This is old. You're burning a lot of fuel on this airplane just because of the engines. And that's why the 737 does so well, is because it's a 70, at least the CFM 56 7Bs on the 700 and the 800, they sip fuel. I mean, you're talking 75% bypass ratio. That's a 5-to-1 ratio. It's really good. So basically, 1 unit in the turbine section, 5 units out of the turbine section, and that is money saved for airlines. All right, 35 for 36. We're going to watch the ticker here as we come up to the altimeter. We're just going to guard it, make sure it actually levels off. Again, you got to be on top of your crap, folks. Right now, as you can see, she's starting to kind of come down a little bit. I'm looking at the VSI, and there we go. We just hit Salisbury Steak. And now we're going to be heading across Delaware. And it wants to, maybe. Now we're taking 84 knots right in the middle of the nose. You got to love this. Got to love it. As we come down, we're going to actually put this to cruise, which is going to be the CR. Let's go around. CR is cruise. There you go. So this CR right here that I just pushed is the bugs that you see on the engine instruments. I'll make sure he shut our dang lights off. Okay, he did. And I'm going to try to get you outside the wing. You can't see a flipping thing, can you? Nope. Let's try to see if we can get... Welcome to a night flight, folks. You can't see anything. Nothing. Just nothing out there. Stars. Yeah. Stars. That's about it. Alright, that's 36,000. We'll take that right there. And I'm just going to bump this up a little bit. We can kind of see in a void here as well and look at our TCAS. Cool. Alright, what are we talking about? Look at the Boston Bruins. I'm watching you all the way from Taiwan. Penn, that's awesome. What time is it in Taiwan, bud? Is it early morning there? That's really cool. See, we're all over the world here, folks. That's pretty sweet, right? I like it. Uh-oh. This thing doesn't like me. Alright, let me do this really quick. Oh, I gotta get a picture. You guys know I have to take pictures of the iPad as we go. Let's see photos. It's pretty slick. Okay, what else? So we got that's pretty cool that we know how to do that now. We can turn the altitude down, which helps a lot. So appreciate that. Really does help a lot. I'm going to turn down some of the lighting in the cockpit right now, just because I can get it. There we go. It's starting to get dark. We're going to turn down the, well, it is dark right now. Not that dark. All right. Floodlights, digital's coming down. I'm just going to start turning some stuff down. What did he do? Did he just flip a button? There we go. All right, I'm going to go to the pedestal, turn that down. That's off. Panels not that far down. There we go. I really like a lower light than this bright stuff on the panel, only because it's better on your eyes. Especially when you could just, there you go, you make it out really good. And while we're up here, we're going to make sure everything is good to go on the loads. Nice. Get those buses off. Cool. And actually, you could keep these APU buses on as long as the external left and right are off. They are. Okay, I want to make sure that up on top here we've got captain side. This is the FOPDO heat that's going to tell you, do you have actual heat going through? Stall probes are good, static's good. We'll just throw it on the captain. And the windshield anti-ice should be on, very hard to see. So if I go Alt, maybe is it Alt now? Yeah, try that, good. Why did this do that? That's what changed. We'll go matte mode. I'll kick it over to about 386 knots on the nose, folks. 86 knots on the nose. Ouch. Try to get a good spot for us to kind of look out the window at nothing, because you can't see anything. All right, it's Saturday for you. It's Friday for me. I'm in a different world. Where are you? It's Friday for you. Friday. So it's Saturday for you. Well, it's still Friday for us. I mean, technically, if you're doing GMT, I get it. Yeah, it's Saturday. You're probably somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, right? And you're 777 somewhere. I'm on Mars. That's great. Yeah. That's cool. That's fun. Pop says, make sure you watch the game. Yes, I will. All right, it's 10:20 p.m. for you. All right, cool. You said you flew. Penn said I flew all the way from the U.S. I'll fly back to the States by December. Sweet. That's fun. Do these engines work harder than a 737? They're underpowered, so they don't deliver as much thrust as a 737 does. So, Gary, the thrust on this aircraft is, I think I talked about propulsion or suburbs of Chicago. There you go. I think I talked about this before, and if I have, you can stop me. But let's do a little bit of propulsion science. How's that? We'll do some cool, power plant stuff. I don't. These are 217. They're called JT8Ds. 217s. I believe they deliver 19,000 pounds of thrust. Okay, so these JT8s, they deliver 19,000 pounds of thrust, and you say, well, that's not bad. Okay, the takeoff weight on this aircraft, I'm talking about max takeoff weight. Let's take a look at this. All right, so max takeoff weight, if you look here, max takeoff weight, 149.5. All right, a 737-700 is like 154-ish. 154,000. So you're looking at maybe, what, 4,000-ish? 5,000 pound differential. So 5,000 pound difference, okay? That's what we're talking about with the difference between the MD-82 and the 737. Now, the 737 drives, okay, these CFM 56 engines, and I'm talking about the 700 now. They drive 26. I'm getting the 800 and this 700 off. It's 26,000 pounds of thrust for that aircraft. So you can see the difference already. 19,000 pounds of thrust versus 26,000 pounds of thrust. And we're talking about 5K difference. Okay? Or are they 27,000? Or 24. They're 24,000. Sorry. They're 24K. All right, so you got 24,000 pounds of thrust for 5,000 extra pounds, right? Essentially, give or take. So, do the engines have to work harder? No, but they burn. It's all about fuel burn. By the way, I'm going to check our fuel burn here coming up at Kemper. I'm in the sky looking down. You want to come to Mars? No, I have no ifs, ands, or buts about no even inklings of going to Mars. No, thank you. So our fuel is right around, it's the fuel burn. That's the issue, okay? Let's talk about this. The engines are the same in terms of makeup. All right? The inner parts of the jet engine is the same. It's just they're a little different in the combustion chamber with the JT8s versus the CFM56. These combustion chambers in the JT8s are actually, they're called burners, and they're burner canisters, and that's the difference. So there's a lot of things that are different. You see the clouds starting to cloud up, folks? I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see this, but I can. That doesn't look good. I want weather radar, please. We'll keep our eye on that, okay? They said we'd be over it. And like I said, the weather's coming about right now. But that's not over it. That looks like we're right in it. They lied. It's not what the weather radar said. It said we were going to be smooth sailing. All right, folks, we're going to have to turn on some icing, anti-icing equipment. I don't like that. You see any lightning? If you see lightning, let me know. That could be an issue. Ugh. All right. We'll get back to this in just a minute. Let me go click the Prague here. Kemper reporting 17.5 over Kemper. So we got to make sure that our fuel burn is close to what we are forecasting. And so you can see Kemper here is at 16.6. Where are you? Kemper's at 16.6. We're going to be at 17,500, so we're going to be doing really good on the burn. Again, it's about average, about 1,000 pounds under what SimBrief calls, which is fine by me. I'd rather be under than over. Yeah, don't get me started on weather radar. The biggest disappointment. It is. I agree with you. It's a big disappointment for me as well. Or should I say the lack of weather radar, right? I mean, we've had it for 2 years and no weather radar. And I know there's some developers. I know Active Sky is working on it. Kind of what we heard, right? I think they're working it. Oh, look at this, folks. We do have it. Look at that. The clouds are below us. So it was an optical illusion out the window. How's that? So I'm good. It just freaked me out. All right, back to the drawing board here. Okay. It has been. You're right. It's been a long time. All right, back to the drawing board. We're going to go ahead and draw the JT8s now. I'm going to try to do it justice just so you can see what I'm talking about. That sucked. Let's do that again. Okay, that's good. Okay, we're looking at the side. This is going to be the side of the engine, okay? If you're with me. Kind of get what I'm going here. This is the actual nose cone of the aircraft. All right, this is the fan. And these in JT8s, if you look, this front fan is actually stators. They don't move. They slice the birds. That's what they're for. They're for the birds to get sliced up before they actually hit the rotor. This has a shaft. It comes back like this. Comes back like this. And it rolls like that. Now this engine's a dual axial flow. It's the same thing as a 7.3. But I'm going to show you the difference here in a minute. Okay? So we've got a stator here, and then we're going to have fan blades. And I'll give you different color fan blades. These are now coming into the compressor. And I'm going to try to do this the right scale. And as we go further, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. All right, so it tapers. So everything you see in blue here are fan blades. Okay, and they move, they rotate. They're on that shaft, so that shaft spins. Okay, the shaft spins, and it rotates the fan blades. You with me? Now, in between every fan blade, you have fan blade and then stator. Fan, stator, fan, stator, fan, stator. And these stator blades move. Okay, but they are stationary. They don't rotate. They move. And they're just basically airfoils. All it is an airfoil that moves back and forth depending on which way the air gets sucked in. Okay, so it might flip a little bit, it might open a little bit, and it's done on hinges. Nothing powers it. It's just the air. The motion of the air just directs it. Once the airflow goes through, that's kind of how it's called the stator works. That's a stator. They're called stator vanes. All right, so your airflow is coming through, then it compresses. As the airflow comes in, it compresses, and we know what compressors do. They get the air hot. Okay, so this is no different than the 737. Same thing right now. The only thing different is the burner cans, the combustion chamber. And we're going to draw that right now. So here's the combustion chambers. One of those, one of those, one of those. And this goes all the way around the circumference of the engine. And they're cans. They're actually big old metal cans that have holes in them. Believe it or not, they're little holes like right here, 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 here. You can get what I'm talking about. They're actually holes in these things. which is crazy, right? They have drill holes in them. The airflow then comes into this hot. The hot air comes into this and enters these little holes. Now think of how efficient this is. It's not. Think of all the drag inside the engine. It's not efficient at all. Because you're jamming air into holes. That's not efficient. That's a lot of drag. It's a lot of parasitic drag. It's not good. All right. It's a mess. Okay. So think of then inside the burner are your, let me change the color here. I'll go purple. Are your injectors. Your fuel injector. Okay. And that sprays the fuel into the burner can. And the combustion, called the combustion chamber. Now the 737, this is where it's different. The 737 combustion chamber doesn't have any of this. It's just open. Okay. And then you go through the combustion chamber. Once it combusts and blows, boom, it lights off because this is really hot. You're atomizing the fuel, so you're spraying fuel, basically fumes, into the burner can. It lights. Boom! And it takes off. Obviously the air is hot and it lights. Bam! And then it goes really fast. Okay? Comes through the burner cans and then there's like a hole on the back end here. And that air gets shot out of these burner cans. Really really fast rate. And then guess what it comes to? It comes to the turbine section of the engine. And then as it blows through the turbine section here, as all that air comes through, that's what spins the shaft, this shaft. Okay, so the turbine actually spins the shaft because it's on a dual axial flow. So basically there's two shafts and they rotate over each other. All right, with bearings in between. Okay? So now let's talk about what's different about this versus the 737. You can kind of see it here a little bit, but I'm going to show you. This here, I'll draw the cowl in green. This cowling here in green is the actual, I'm going to have to just get rid of this burner can because that's confusing. Okay, so I'm going to draw this in green here. And the actual green drawing here is the actual motor. That's the actual motor, and it fits in the engine like that. Okay, now you're saying, well, what about this little vacant space up here? Right here and down here. VRFs, hey, John, you're just in time, buddy. We're doing power plant theory. I finally could relax yesterday. I was sitting on a floating chair in the sky for 12 hours. So, dude, that would be awesome if you really were. All right, this is what this kind of thing. I'll do it pink just because it's a higher visibility. This little vacant space is actually bypass air. Okay, this bypasses the entire turbine section, compressor section, and it goes right through. And the percentage of bypass air in a JT8, this is a JT8D. Crap. I gotta pull up my paperwork again. No, I don't. Wait a minute. Where'd it go? Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull it up. Let me find it. Oh, we got a master caution. It's just low fuel on the center. Come on, FO, where are you? I'm trying to do a lesson here. You should be worried about flying the aircraft. Our ILM's coming up. Like I said, it's going to be quick, right? I said we're pretty much, when we hit ILM, it's almost done. If we could, there's a VOR, we can tune that. I've got a rowdy passenger. Tell me that's a terminal. That's a VORTAC facility. Yeah. Well, what's we got on the frequency here? There is no frequency. It's just done. Where are you? $117. FO's being lazy. Yeah, exactly. You know, what the heck is that? What good does that do us? Isn't he supposed to be watching the aircraft? He's not. That should be Williamton VOR, if-ish, maybe. We could identify it and tune to it. All right, let me look at the paperwork here, where we were. Let's see if I can get it. I gotta figure out where I put it. Why are you barking at me? Oh, baby, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Okay, we found it. All right, good. All right, so that pink stuff is bypass air. And that's your bypass ratio. This is where you get your thrust, by the way. It's not the actual compressor. It's the bypass air. So I think in the JT8, I can't remember what their bypass ratio is. It's like 2-to-1 or something like that. It's terrible. It's super low. This is considered low bypass. Okay? Very low. 2-to-1, that means for every 2 units that's going into the jet engine, actual jet engine, 1 bypasses. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. It's not great. It's low bypass. It's not a great engine. Hence, a lot more fuel burn. So like when they started to do this stuff and started building jet engines, they're called, you ever heard the term straight pipe? Like the 707, straight pipe. There was no bypass. It was straight pipe. So there was no bypass air. It was all engine, all motor. Okay? Very inefficient, by the way. It wasn't until they started getting to the MD-80 and they go, oh, well, this bypass air, this might help us out. And then the 737-300 came along and changed the game. Okay? The 300 came along with the CFM engine and it just flipped the script. And there were other engines out there that had high bypass ratio. I'm talking about that narrow body segment. So the difference between that engine, which is a JT8, and your 737 engine, I'll show you the difference. You still have the cowling. The cowling's the same. It's a bigger engine. First of all, it's a much bigger motor. Huge fan. That doesn't do it justice. Okay, big old front fan here. Okay, same thing. Compressor section, combustion chamber, and then you have the turbine section on the back end here. It's same difference. There's no difference. Still has the same thing. Okay, stators, the whole 9 yards. Variable stators, you get it. The difference, combustion chamber is wide open. There is no actual compartments or no burner cans. These are wide open. So in the combustion chamber, you have a series of left-right igniters. So as the air enters into the engine and gets compressed and gets hot and enters the combustion chamber, it just ignites, boom, and all that air blows out into the turbine section. The only thing that's different, it's bigger, it's a much bigger motor. The actual size of the motor is much different. The actual size of the motor. The green part is the actual motor. Look at how much space or vacant space is between the actual motor here and the cowling. That's a lot of space. This is all vacant. So what gets filled with it? Air. That's it. So the only stage it goes through is that first fan. That first stage. That's it. Once it goes through there, it gets bypassed. All of that air gets bypassed. It doesn't even go through the compressor here. The combustion chamber. The combustion chamber would be like right here. Okay? So that air all gets bypassed. All bypassed air. Doesn't even go through the dang turbine. Just goes straight out the back of the engine. And what's the unit? 5-to-1. Okay? 5 units bypass, 1 unit into the actual turbine, into the engine. And they said, wow, that is a lot more fuel efficient. Because think about it. All that air has to get jammed into this dang little low bypass. You know, you're jamming all that air, and it has to... It's not efficient because it's slowing it up. Right? It converges here, and then it diverges out the back. So it actually speeds it up into the engine, and then it has to slow it down again out of the back. Because it's Bernoulli's principle, right? Think about Bernoulli's principle. You put your thumb over a garden hose, what happens to the water, right? It increases. That's Bernoulli's principle. The faster you get a fluid in motion, right? Decrease the pressure, increases the velocity, decreases temperature, right? So that's how the same thing, Bernoulli's principle, is on this jet engine. Okay? Divergent or converging air, it increases the velocity, decreases the pressure, increases the temperature, at least as you're compressing it, okay? And then it hits your burner section, and then it has to diverge the air because it has to slow it down. Otherwise, it'll be supersonic out of the back, and you'll have a big problem. You got fan blades everywhere. Pretty cool. So that's why the 737, 300, the 300 kicks the crap out of an MD-80 in terms of just efficiency. Even that aircraft does great. And it's like, you think, what, 737-300? Oh, yeah. 300 beat it. The 700, 600, 700, 800, 900, the NG series, the airplane just does great. Great efficiency. And that is your bypass. Low bypass on this aircraft, high bypass on your 737. And your Airbus. Gary says, vision, very interesting. Good night, Pops. I'm shooting in the morning. We'll see ya. Devils beat the Avs 1-0. Nice. Cool. Anyway, there's our lesson for the night. And folks, I'm going to stand up, stretch my legs. I'll give you an idea where the heck we are. It looks like Chicago Center, Indy, and Jax is on. So we're going to be on Jax Center here shortly. As we kind of, right after ILM, I'm expecting Jax Center to kind of tune us up. And we'll see what's going on. All right, so I'm actually going to shut a window because it's very cold in here. I got the windows open now because I got so much heat coming off these computers. Hopefully I didn't bore you. But we are going to turn this. Going to go ahead and pull this up. I don't want to do that. I hit the wrong button. There we go. And I'm just going to give you a kind of lay of the land on where we are. You know what? There we go. You can see ILM is right there. Thanks for the lesson. Yes, hopefully it was good. And if you have something else you want to talk about, let me know. Maybe I can give you some worthless information. Like that. I love power plants, though. It's one of my favorite subjects. So when I was in college and studying, I was like, man, this is sweet. Engines, motors, really cool. Never boring at all. Good deal. Not at all. It's very kind of you. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Let me know if you have other aviation-related questions. We can talk about them. Now we have plenty of time of cruise here. I'm going to just get up, shut the windows really, really quick, stretch my legs, and we'll get ready for top of descent. Top of descent, it'll be about... is there do you guys see on the top bar, is there like something... Oh yeah, you can see it. Okay, you see the distance thing going. Barely. Is there an ETA? Yeah, but ETA's in Zulu time. 04. Right now it's 2, so we have another hour. Which is about right. Okay, I'll be right back. What about the lotto numbers for next week? Yeah, if you can give me those, that'd be great. I'll take it. Okay, Sean, I know Sean had that request. He's like, what about that? And I kind of wanted to streamline a little bit, and I just put the default one on there, but it looks good. Maybe I'll spice it up a little bit. All right, I'll be right back. 0224 or 0424, so about an hour and 24 minutes. And like I said, right when we get to ILM, it's going to go pretty quick from there, folks. It's probably about a 40-minute, and then we'll be top of descent. Okay, I will and shall return. Is this okay? You like this view? If I give you a wing view, you're not going to really see anything. So, like, you're not going to see anything. See that? You just don't see nothing. There's nothing there. You know, even outside, can't see anything. Kind of pointless there. So I'll just keep you in the cockpit, keep you in the flight deck, and at least you can see what the aircraft's doing, where we're going, and I can pull up the map for you. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. We get called yet? Nope, but we will. Jax is still online. All right, we had a question here. All right, which is better for you, the Max 8s or the 73800? Well, probably the Max 8. I can't wait till they come out in PMDG or in 2020. You know, if we have a study level Max 8, that would be really fun. All right, folks, we're passing ILM, Williamton. We're starting that track right now. That's that southbound turn. I'm going to start looking at the descent. Look here, and we will go from there. Yeah. What was I going to say? On November 11th, we're going to do a full all-day stream. And it's going to be from 5 a.m. It's a 5 a.m. start to about, let's see, 5 to 1. It's going to be about 5 to 1-ish, 1:30-ish. And the stream is going to take you on a day in the life in a coastal flight. Now, we're going to simulate a full day of flying. So we're starting in Buffalo, and we're going to do Buffalo early morning, so we got a 5 o'clock show. It's a 5:45 turn. It'll be in the 737, so it'll be a mainline flight, and we're going to be flying Buffalo to West Virginia route, and we're going to go do a turn West Virginia, fly to Myrtle Beach, do a turn, and then we're going to go to Miami, Key West, back to Miami, and then we're done. So it's going to be a fun, action-packed day. There's the call right there. I knew it was coming. Let's see, 135.925. 135.925. 135.925. $135.92. I don't know why I went this way. I should have went the other way. 135.925. There we go.
American 4431, turn right, heading at 080 to set up maintain 3000, vectors visual approach from 833.
All right, Sean. Unless Madge would say, I just want to go to sleep and then be woken up at 2024 when PMG puts this. Yeah, is that what they're saying? Time is going fast. It sure is. Hopefully the sim will have a weather radar by then. Uh-huh. Time is going fast. Let's call him up. Where the heck are we? Williamton, right? Just past Williamton. On the 195 outbound out of Williamton. Let me just see if we're supposed to be taking a Williamton. Is it a jet route out of Williamton here? I'm trying to look. Hard for me to see. Nope, we're going to Austin. We'll just say South Williamton. Jack Center, Riptide 5800, flight level 360, just south of Williamton.
Riptide 5800, Jack, good evening, squawk 1050.
1050, Riptide 5800. 1050. Everybody get that truck, 1050, 1050. Enter. There we go. That's what we're squawking. Yeah, 777 is in 2023 and the 74 is in 24. So let me ask you this then. What's going on with the 7.5? I know Blue Sim, I think Bluebird Sim is doing it, but it's going to be like a light version, right? It's not a study level sim, so they're saying. What does is PMDG going to do a 7.5? Do you folks know? Do you think they'll do that? Or is it just nothing but rumors at this point? Which I'm probably assuming it just is, right? Might be rumors. By the way, November 11th, I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are. That all-day stream. It's going to be, we're going to simulate an 8-hour flight day. It's a long day. It's going to be fun, though. And if the schedule allows a break, we take breaks. If the schedule allows it. It won't. For the first 2 legs, we don't get a break. It's not until we get to Miami where we can actually take a breather, because we're really pushing the clock on Part 117 law.
Jacksonville Center, Malcolm Air 420 on the ground at Hilton Head at the west side, IFR to Panama City.
Panama City, that's a long haul.
Malcolm Air 420, Jack Center. Good evening. Hello, welcome. You're clear to the Panama City Airport. We have filed. Maintain 2000. Expect flight level 300, 10 minutes after departure. Departures with me, squawk 1025, hold for release.
Alright, Malcolm Air 420 is cleared to Panama City. Is filed. Maintain 2000. Expect 300 and 10 departures with you, squawking 1025.
And by the way, if you didn't catch us earlier, take a look at our merch store, our company store right there.
Call for taxi. The let's see here, the Hilton Head altimeter is 3027. Departure runway, actually, Hilton Head altimeter is 3027, and call me when you're number 1 for the hold for the runway.
Alright, sir, we have the weather, and we'll hold for release, and we'll call you when we're number 1 short of the runway. Malcolm Air 420.
Okay. So, Robert was spotted with a Model 757.
American 23.
Okay.
That
interesting.
Discretion to set a maintain followable 320.
They only did the 73, 75, 77774 DC6. They've never done a 75. Correct.
American 23, 55, pilot discretion, maintain followable 320.
I would love to see a 757.
320, American 2255.
South plus 1712, descendant pilot discretion, maintain followable 320.
Let's take a look at our fuel burn.
320, Southwest 1712.
Total on the fuel, 14,500 pounds. Just to give you an idea, the MD-80 is burning 2.6. The 7.3 will burn about 2.3 at cruise. So you can see the fuel burn it burns a lot of gas. I mean, it's not a lot, but on climb it is. It's a ton. 757 is love. Yeah, it is beautiful. It is a beautiful airplane. That's for sure. I'm with you. I would love to see it. It'd be great to see that aircraft going. We are headed to. We just passed Austin at 14.9 on the fuel. So I'm just going to do a quick burn check at Austin here. 14.9.
For the wrong runway, sir.
It's
perfect. Make sure you line up for runway 33 there.
So 13.8, we're still 1,000 pounds better forecast than forecasted on our paperwork. So that's good. Let's go ahead and start planning for top of descent stuff. So we're going to get some stuff worked out here. Magic is our next waypoint, and we should be over there approximately about 33 minutes to Magic. So about 33 minutes is going to be perfect timing for us. The weather just shifted over, which means we're going to start writing down Fort Lauderdale's weather right now and start prepping for the landing and all that good stuff. So I got to tell you, folks, I am excited to fly a line flight again. It's been a while. It's fun flying these charters, but my gosh, it's a lot of work. Like tomorrow, I got to fly over to Phoenix now. You know, it's like, it's fun though. I guess I'm not complaining, but I'm looking forward to flying a 737 where I can just kind of go, all right, let the autopilot fly. I'm looking forward to that. But this keeps me honest, right? I mean, hey, it keeps us honest. All right, winds 050 at 07. And then when our pilots get 100 hours and they get checked out in the MD-80, they can start flying the MD-80s and start flying charters if they want. They could bid for charter routes, and they could get a charter run if they like. And then I could fly a line flight again, which would be nice. Scotty, what's up, buddy? They could give us a good B-52 jet that will outlive us all. That is true. You're not kidding. How are you, Scott? Hopefully you're well.
Delta 55 understood. Would you fly level 1004-160?
Visibility 10 statute miles.
Maintain followable speed 20.
Information is Lima. I think this is the correct numbers.
Jacksonville Center, good evening. Carnival Air 928-310.
Carnival
Air 928 Jacksonville Center, good evening.
26 over 20, altimeter 3009er. Who is that, guys? Who's Carnival Air? Is that Carnival Airlines? That's what I heard? All right, we've got expect ILS approach 10 left, runway 10 right, 28 left, noise sensitive. So 10 left it is.
Jackson, say again, American 4431.
American 4431, welcome to Charleston. Vacate when able, taxi to the ramp at pilot's discretion. Cross runway 3.
Okay, our landing weight's 105. We're going to be a little bit above that. We're probably going to be at 106.5. Just because of the fuel burn. You know, we're about 1,000 pounds, pushing 1,000 pounds over. Right now we're doing 110 or 111,000.
American 2355, leaving my airspace. Radar shows terminated frequency change approved.
Roger, switching over the Unicom. American 2253. See ya.
See ya.
Sean, A2A, Accusin, B52. Yeah, it would be cool. Aren't they coming out? Does anybody know if they're coming out with a 200 in for FS? Isn't Milviz doing a 73-200? Did I hear that correctly? I hope so. Because that would be fun. That'd be a fun plane to fly. I wish somebody would do a 300 six-pack. Like, really. That's what I'm looking forward to. Okay. Let's go ahead and dial in our paperwork. Let's get all that stuff ready to go for us so we could just get going on the descent winds here. And we got to do it old school. Like everything in this aircraft, it's old school. Alright, so we're concentrating on the wind data. 34,000, we have 30,000, 24, and 18. We could pick 3. We're sitting at 36,000. So the upper altitudes here, we'll pick 26 knots. So we could pick that one. We could go, this is, 10,000 feet. I like to do, we could do this, this, and this. Those are the 3 altitudes I'll be concerned with. And they're pretty darn low. I mean, 32 at 28, 33 at 16, 35 at 11. So let's throw these 3 numbers. We're going to go 30, 24, and 18, okay? So we'll drop down to the FMC. Let's go to descent page. We're going to click forecast. I want to put those altitudes in here, right? So we're going to go 300, drop it over the top there. We're going to go 240 in the MICDU. We're going to drop that right there. And we're going to put in 18,000 right there. right? So you've got 30, 24, 18, and then we'll put our winds in there. 32 at 28. Again, not very much, but it helps the computer compute top of descent better. 33 at 16.
Check center Malcolm Air 420.
And then we're going to do 35 at 11.
Number 1 short of 2-1.
Malcolm Air 420, your Airways for the approach clearance way down off in 5 minutes. Advise to frequency airborne, change back to advisory frequency approved. Talk to you soon.
I really, at least for departure void, it's not off in 5, and we'll call this frequency when we are airborne.
Alright, looking good there. We'll go ahead and click our progress page again and take a look. Now, at Magic, folks, we're not going to get to any altitude restraints until we're at Birdman. So we'll click next page, and I'll go legs. Birdman, 280, 24, between 28,000 feet and 24,000. So we'll set it down to 24. Then we'll hit Junks, I guess, Junks, 21,000 and above. We'll go to next page. Then we've got Holt, 2715, Weehoo, 2713, Mackerel, 260 at 11. That is true. Then we're going to get to Cuda, 8,000 hard, Locker, then Sheriff. Good. BPAC. Locker, Sheriff, BPAC, Wagner, and then we're going to go into the 27s. So, excuse me, 10s.
Center Malcolm Air 420 south of Jacksonville, 1,200 for 2,000.
From off
So let me pull that in really quick. Approach. We're going to go 10 left, ILS.
Malcolm Air 420, you're off Hilton Head, sir. Check your squawk, unless your squawk altitude's 1025 and ident.
Now he won't take us in, Jax.
Charlie. Here comes the flash. Malcolm Air 420.
Malcolm Air 420, radar contact 24 miles east of Savannah VOR at 1,700. Clear direct to Panama City Airport. Climb and maintain flight level 300.
Direct destination. Climb and maintain flight level.
All right, what's the best source for wind data? Ooh, good wind source for the sim. Yeah. It has been a while though. I think an update on Milviz progress. There you go. Oh, I'm sorry. The merch store is still on there. That's my bad. I'm sitting there typing everything in there, and the merch store has been up there forever. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Bye, guys. We'll see you, XP. Have a good one, bud. Let's see here. Just think you forgot. I've got that one. What's the best source for wind data? Yeah, Char, it depends. Like he said, it depends on what you're looking for, right? Are you looking for real world weather? You're looking for the sim? Right now, we're getting sim brief. This is all sim brief weather. This is real world stuff, basically. Sim brief pulls from the real data. Now, guys, we could do... I'm really tempted to do this RMP 10 left. It's tight, but I think we could do it. I think we could do it. It would be good to do. It'll keep us within 10 nautical miles instead of 20. So it looks like we're going to be cruising our own pretty much. Miami is not online. So I think we could do this generally safely too, and it'll be quicker. So it's going to save us money, right? And I'm all about that. If we configure early, I think we can get her done. Now we're just going to have to watch the aircraft really well. Might have to take over early. Once I get a visual, I'll just cut it, and then we'll go in. Might be a little squirrely, I'm just letting you know, but I think we can do it. So, what say you? Let's go arrivals and departures, and I'm going to pick 10 left, but we're going to do the RP Yankee.
Gone, radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
Right there. RNAV, 10 left Zulu. Nope. RNAV, where is it? 10 left Yankee. There it is. RNAV,
Jackson
10 left
American
Yankee.
4431, thanks for the ATJ.
Doing an RFP. I don't think I've done an RFP in the Mad Dog yet.
Okay.
RNAV approach. Yeah, in the 80, do it. We're going to do it.
No problem.
For entering the descent forecast. Yeah, I used SimBrief on that, bud. I used the release. And I don't think you saw it. I could show it to you here really quick. Okay, but what transition are we going to do? The Yell-U, whatever that is. Yell-Y? I don't know what that is, but we're going to do it. All right, I'm going to click. Before I click execute, we're going to legs page here. I want to go to the next page. We've got CUDA locker. We got vectors here. I just want to make sure Wagner and then Yell-Y is good. So I'm going to click up the range. You can see let's go to the next page, and I'm going to zoom in, and that's going to give us a good kind of visual representation of where it's going to go. Let's see, we got EOI right there. Okay. See this Wagner? See how this is why you want to do this stuff, because Wagner is on the opposite side, so we don't actually want to do that. I want to actually erase this. So let's go back into here, and that's kind of why we always want to check this. That's going to jack this thing right up, so we don't want to do that. What we're going to do is go into the arrivals and departures page. We're going to do the RNAV 10 left Yankee RMP. Then we're going to go into the we're going to go into this Yell-U, whatever it's called, and we're going to go to the legs page, and we're going to click next, and then we're going to put this in the scratch pad. I want this going into the scratch pad, and I'm going to try to dump it over the top of Wagner. So we've got BPAC, Yell-U, whatever that is, Yell-U, I don't know. And you could see now, if we take a look on the transition here, that's much better. You see how we get rid of Wagner? Wagner will be gone, and then we could fly right there. So we've got BPAC, and then after BPAC is Yell-Y, and then we're going in. I'm going to click execute that. Now you see how that's gone away? Awesome. And this right here, this Martin's whatever, that's going to be after. Let's see what we've got. Yep, that's our hold. So if we go missed, Nova, we go missed approach, we're going to hold there. Martin's or Mart's. I just want to make sure that it's all dialed in and good to go. It looks good. I like it. Altitude restraints 235,000. 235,000. Good. I'm going to make that actually a hard altitude. I don't want to mess with that. So we're actually going to just do a slash 5,000, and I'm going to make this a hard altitude. Okay. Now, chances are we're going to have to intervene because this, the autopilot can get a little squirrely on this aircraft. So, but that's kind of the direction we're going to go.
420, I have a hold instruction for you. Advise ready to copy.
Malcolm Air. 114.4 on Fort Lauderdale, so we're going to go ahead and tune that in the FO side. So 1144. We will do a backup. All right, we're going to actually back up the ILS on our frequency. Just so we have it.
Delta 1615 is 100 miles north of the Grange.
Delta 1616, Jack Center Squawk 1067, good evening.
1067, good evening.
All right. Okay, we're right in between. We're getting close to magic. And our top of descent point's coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and add one really quick thing. I'm going to plug in the ILS.
Delta 1616, radar contact 130 miles southwest of the volunteer VOR, level 370.
Okay, the ILS right now for this is going to be back and then
Delta 1616, I have a full rear pre-advisory to copy.
ILS 111.0, so 110.1.
Ready to copy, Delta 1616.
Delta 1616 is cleared to the Orlando Airport via direct to LaGrange VOR, Lima Golf Charlie. Direct ZJX, Zulu Juliet Alpha Yankee X-Ray. Then the Grinch 3 arrival.
Sure.
I'll have to check if I have the Grinch 3 on board. I've got Airac 2103, but I'll take a look. Stand by for the 1616.
If you don't have that, let me know if you have the Jafar too.
I know I've got the Jafar, but I'll check for the Grinch 1 second.
Well, let's think about this.
I'm listening.
What do you need? This has GNS, does it? Does this have GPS in it? I don't think we could do it. You might be right. Yeah, I don't think it has GPS.
JetBlue 1402.
I think
Jack.
we need GPS.
Good evening. Hello, Squawk 1054.
1054, 1402.
I think you're right.
JetBlue 1402, radar contact 30 miles south of the snapped intersection, level 330.
Now you got me thinking. I don't think you could do it. I really don't think you can do it because it doesn't have GPS, does it? Route page. Legs. I'm just kind of stepping through this, seeing if I can find. Huh. Let me see something really quick, folks. You might be onto something. I don't think we can do it. If we don't have GPS in the aircraft, I don't think we can actually do it. So that's not going to work for us, is it? We might just have to go to the ILS and deal with it. You're right. You're right. You got me thinking now, like, wait a minute. Yeah, maybe not. Probably not. If it doesn't have GPS in the aircraft, which is GNS, then we're shot. We're dead where we sit. There's no way we can do it. I really don't think that's possible. But it's worth a look, so let's do that. Let's just take a little look and see if we could actually do. Let's find out. We can do an on-nav departure. Okay. But not a landing. Let's talk about PRM approach. We don't want that. Category 3, no. ILS approach, auto land.
Delta 1669, have the reroute advisory ready to copy.
No.
Ready to copy the reroute 1616.
Delta 1616, clear to the airline
Can't do it,
airport.
folks.
Get direct coax and the Jafar to arrival. Maintain followable 370.
370, direct coax, and then the Jafar. Actually, I've got the Grinch 1 loaded. Do you want that one, or would you rather me do the Jafar?
No, they're different.
Yeah,
it's
point.
Old arrivals, completely different.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look at what I have on the Jafar then.
The restrictions are, I'm sure there are higher. It's probably 0.3, but I'm trying to look right now to see if we can, right? So I'm looking at my manual to see if we actually can fly one of these approaches.
And Center, I've got the Jafar 1 arrival with the
We
Charlie
have
Oscar Echo Delta Yankee Cody transition.
a localizer, glide slope out, LDA, VOR, NDB, lock, circling approach, ILS, Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, no RMP, folks. The only thing we could do is an RNAV departure, but that's it. So looks like it's the ILS for us, and it'll be a visual. So we're gonna kind of go visual on it, but we can't really fly one of these. And I thought once you said it, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, you're right. We don't have we don't have the required equipment, because you're gonna need GPS, and you need 2 GPS receivers. We don't have that in this aircraft. And GNS, that's it. So you're kind of shot right there. Yes, it is LNAV and it is VNAV certified. I think if an airline retrofitted it and put in actual GPS receivers, you get away with it, I'm sure.
Delta 1616, I've got direct Ormond Beach and the Business 7.
But for us, we can't.
Delta
Does that make sense?
16,
We're
okay.
kind of stuck.
His last time I'll reroute. You clear to the Orlando airport, direct Ormond Beach, and then the Bito 7 arrival.
Direct Ormond Beach and the Business 7 arrival, and that time I
Let's go to route page.
Browse Delta 1660, read back correct.
Okay, we're going to change this. We're going to go to the ILS 10 left now. Sucks. All right. Hold transition. Hold it transition. Motor 4 motor no transition. What the crap? No, we're not doing that. We're just going to go to hold it transition. We'll plug that in there. We'll go to the legs page, which sucks, folks. I was trying to cut some time. We got Wagner in there, vectors. We'll change those vectors to hold it, and then click execute. Now I'm going to try to cut it. Okay? I'm going to try to be very swift because that's 20 miles away. I'm thinking Warrior, if we could get on the Warrior deal, which is right there. If we're a beam Warrior at 3,000 feet, I'm cutting it in. And that's going to be, I'm just going to cut a crap load of distance off at least 10 to 15 miles. So it's up to us to get to 3,000 feet at Warrior. And I think we could do it. We got to get configured early, okay? That's going to be the trick of this thing, is getting it configured early. So if we configure the aircraft early, 3,000 at Warrior, a beam Warrior, we can start our turn and then head down. Does that make sense? So that's kind of what I think we ought to do, and I think that'll be good for us there. There's Magic. All right, I like that idea. Yeah, I know. It sucks. That's just more fuel out the window. That sucks. Well, I mean, I'm glad we looked. Right? I'm glad somebody said something. Hey, can you do one of these? No, you can't. That really sucks. See, if I could, I would spend the money to install 2 GPS receivers just so we can do RMP approaches, because that would take, and certify it, that would take a crap load of fuel cost. You would save thousands of dollars on fuel in the course of, a year. You'd save thousands of pounds and money, thousands of dollars on fuel burn. Because think about that. We're going to do the same, essentially the same thing. We're just going to do it manually.
Northwest.
We're going to cut it, go 90 degrees. We'll do our a downwind leg. We'll cut it 90 degrees, and then we're just going to roll it right in.
We're at 5800, leaving airspace. Radar service terminated. Frequency change to advisory is approved. Have a good rest of your flight.
Hey, thanks for the services. Appreciate your help. We'll see you. Riptide 5800.
See it.
All right, let's get off of the frequency here. I'm going to start turning up lights. I know that's counterintuitive, but we'll go on and get that ready to go, folks. It looks like top of descent's coming up. Time check, 0343 in the sim. It's looking like, what, 0421 still? So, anyway, tomorrow, folks, if you're interested, we're doing Phoenix. Now, I said 8:30. It's probably going to be earlier than that. I'm probably going to start this stream early because it's a long flight over to Phoenix. I would assume. I think it's going to be about 4 hours and something minutes. We're going to be flying the south route, going over to cross the Gulf, coming across New Orleans through Texas. And that's going to be 2 hours getting through Texas just alone. It's Texas. And then we could go, we'll kind of go straight through it. So it's going to be a long haul tomorrow. Good night. They're probably going to fly the flight on Sunday. Well, I won't fly on Sunday. So I'll just do, that's like family day. So I'm just going to do it tomorrow night. I'll start streaming probably maybe 6-ish. Maybe if I can get off the ground at 4. So I'm going to try to go as early as I possibly, humanly possible. So it's going to be flexible. So whenever I jump on, I jump on. And that'll be for patrons. That'll be a patron-only stream, which I'm doing a lot of those. So a lot of these flights you won't see in the middle of the week unless you're a patron of ours. And that's on the bottom here. If you check out patreon.com, just type in FSBN. You'll see us right there. Flight Sim Broadcasting Network. It's $1. And by the way, anytime you sign up to become one, you get to see that, the whole bunch of, these streams we just started doing, private streams, which is really cool. Because I'm going to fly it anyway, so might as well stream it. Right? That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, it's going to be a long one. It's a long haul in the MD-80. I don't think it's going to be a long haul. We'll see. Oh, man. I mean, I think the MD-80's bread and butter is like 2 hours, 2 hour and 30-minute segments. You start pushing 4 hours in the 80, you're like, oh my gosh. Does it have the range? It has the range. We have the range here because we only have 60 passengers on board. 3,000 pounds of bags, cargo. So it's going to have the range. We're just going to have a lot of fuel. And I'm glad we're in Fort Lauderdale because the fuel's cheaper than Miami. So if we were taking off at our home base as Miami, it would be expensive. And I've actually got to get those numbers crunched in to believe it or not. So now one thing I want to check is 2047. Let me check this out. I'm just going to brief up on a quick briefing here. Let's see if I can find it. SP, no, I went too far. What did I say, 2047? Looking for a page. Okay, we're starting the arrival called Magic. Well, it's the CUDA 2 arrival, and it's starting right now. We're on the arrival. Woohoo! I've got to type in our performance numbers. We'll go ahead and do that. I just want to see what page now. What does it say? 46 or something? 2046. There we go. Okay, so we'll do our approach briefing. We're going to get that knocked out. Once I get the numbers in, We'll do lighting at 20,000. We'll go get the pressure, and we'll dial in the pressure. And I'll do that right now as I'm thinking about it. 3009. I'm going to slide down here on this right here. So we're going to go 3009. About right there. That's perfect. So that's setting up your pressure. And look at our differential. Our differential is about 7.9 on diff right now. Cabin altitude is way high. Look at that. Cabin altitude is 7,800 feet. It's close to the 7.3. So it's keeping a good rate. We've got good temperatures in the cabin. Let's see, just basically slightly, a little less than 70 degrees, a little more than 70 degrees, probably about 73-ish in the cabin. It's not too bad. Okay, that chore is done. Engine sync, we'll get all that done. Okay, we're going to do a straight in. This is a beautiful day. 050 at 7 knots. Let's go ahead and program our EFB. Let's get that programmed in there. Flight mode. Let's go ahead and click on performance. We'll go ahead into our landing. And I would assume our landing data, what did we say? It's about 106, I think I said. 106, give or take. What do we got right now? We got 108. So 108.9, maybe by the time we start our descent, 107-ish. We'll be about at 106 before we land. I'm pretty certain. Fort Lauderdale, winds are 050 at 7 knots. /7. Outside air temperature right now is 26 degrees. VREF will do 5. We're going to go 10 left. Flaps 1128, which is fine. We're going to keep that 1128. And by this way, this airplane can stop on a dime. Trust me, we flew in a midway, and there is no doubt in my mind this aircraft can't stop. It could stop quick. Now, departing, yeah, we didn't have a problem at a midway, but we were light. And maybe a little heavy with more fuel, that would have been a problem. But it was interesting. It's interesting to see that. 3009er. 30.09er. Yes, auto brake, landing weight coming in at 106. Let's say 106. Let's call it 106.9. How's that? Close to that, 107 range. Okay, let's put in some numbers. And we're getting close. Looks like landing distance we're going to have, and I'll brief with you here in a minute. I'm just getting a game plan ready, and then we'll brief. 10 left's at 9,000, so we have 9,000 feet of runway. A little less than that because of the displaced threshold. We're looking at, we need factored landing at least 4,041 feet. We're going to have that fine. Auto brake's going to be medium. Runway is 10 left. And our ref, it's going to spit our ref out at, we just see 28 extension. It's going to be 129 is our ref. Nice and slow. Looks like maneuvering speed's 211. And that, my friends, is good to go. All right. Let's get ready. Are you ready for the approach brief?
Go ahead.
All right. So what we're going to do is we'll pull up our paperwork here. So we are going to be heading, we're down here in this range, by the way, folks. We're at Magic right now, so we're on the arrival. We're going to come down here. We'll obviously hit all the descent profiles that we need to. Let's just talk about the ILS approach and kind of our game plan and what we'll do. The weather's fine, 050 at 7, 10 miles visibility. There's a few clouds at 2900, so no problem. We'll back up we'll fly the ILS 10 left, like we talked about before. Our game plan is going to be, essentially we're going to come downwind. We'll start descending down. Looks like an MSA of 2100, so we're fine there. We're going to start descending down to 3000. Once we hit the 3000, we're going to start that turn in there, probably in between Warrior and Game V. Just kind of cut it a little quick, about 10 nautical miles away in that range area. It's going to be perfect for us. Warrior, it's looking like 3, 6, 7, 8, about 8 nautical miles. This one I'm talking about. So in between Game V and Warrior, we need to start getting down to 3,000. If we can get down to 3,000, we get some flap in there. Once we hit Warrior, we'll start setting it down and then grab the ILS and have the ILS take over. We need to descend down to 1,800 feet over at Nove, I don't know what you want to call that. Nove, maybe? And then we'll fly the chute down. Touchdown zone 7 feet, so we'll go ahead and set that in our mark right now. Fort Lauderdale is 1144. Looks like on the missed approach, if we had to go missed, it's essentially 800 feet, left turn 4,000, and we'll hold in Fort Lauderdale. So it's a left turn outbound, not a right turn, so left turn outbound, and then we'll hold over at Martz. Okay. We've got Fort Lauderdale 114 in the hole. We've got 111 and 110.1 plugged in. 096. We'll go ahead and plug that in if we don't have it in yet. So there's 111.1 and 096 for the course. I'm going to go ahead and set my course right now. .096. Top of descent is coming up. That's all set, ready to go. I will turn the lighting up a little bit as we get closer to top of descent. I'll turn the lighting up in the cockpit. That will help us as we approach Fort Lauderdale. The towns will start illuminating. So it's gonna. You can see the Florida coastline. I don't know if you can see it. I can see it right through there. Cool. All right. We got about, what, 30 minutes? It's been about 2 hours and 5 minutes since push. Not too shabby. Jacksonville is on, and that's it. APU after landing, that is true. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about runway 10 left. We're going to land to runway 10 left. Probably taxi off on Bravo 9 or back taxi all the way down. We'll go all the way down, looks like Bravo. We'll go Bravo to Echo, Echo down, and then we'll fly. We'll park it right to shelter, let the players off, and we'll get the aircraft shut down, buttoned up, and ready to go for tomorrow night as we go into Phoenix, which is going to be a fun one. Oh, baby. All right, I'm tired now. Oh yeah, I need to set our DH to 7. That's going to be our. Nope. There we go. Cool. Drink time. These late nights, man. Ooh. It's hard to fly these things at night because you can't see anything. It's difficult to see. As we're approaching the Florida coast, though, let's see if we can kind of pick out where we are. We're abeam Cape Canaveral. So Cape Canaveral's off there on the right wing. Kind of get a glimpse of it over there. Difficult. I don't know. Can you folks see that? Probably can't see anything out of the window. I can barely make it out. Yikes. Alright, top of descent is approaching. Any questions?
No questions.
So we'll start our descent, and we'll start our descent checks coming up. Oops, I wanted to do that right there. Alright, paperwork looks good. I'll adjust my seat, folks, because, man, again, I don't know how you long haulers do it, but it's crazy. It's too long. Long haul pilots, I don't know how they do it. 7 hours in a seat, or even 5 hours transcontinental flight. That sucks. Not cool. And I think the lighting is pretty good right now, so I'm going to leave it alone. Maybe I'm just going to bump up. Just maybe I'll bump up a little bit of flood over here, but that's about it if I do any of it. I might bump a flood. No, that's too much. Just bump that panel up a little bit, get it going. I wonder if I could see that. Where's the card? Can't see the card at night, huh? Alright, let's go ahead and set this. Set my bugs up, and I am going to dump... bump up my panel a little bit. We'll flood it out just a touch. Get these things on. Kind of brighten the panel up slightly. Not too much, but enough. You know, in real life, you'd actually turn it way down because you want to see traffic. Right? Alright, folks. By the way, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to us. That helps the channel as well, as we're trying to grow a little bit. Hopefully you learned something today. If you're joining us right now, you're listening to us, go back in the cruise. We talked about engines, right? We talked about power plants and what high bypass means and what's low bypass ratio and all that good stuff. Any Star Wars fans in the house? I sure hope so. All right, hold on. Getting to plump. We're still over the ocean, pretty good. About abeam Vero Beach now. We're starting to get to civilization. So we'll do our descent checks, and then that's it. Any questions, folks? Transportation, fuel pumps, hydraulics. Well, that's set. Ready to go. All right, so you see we've got this MIC2 message coming up saying, hey, you're going to have to do a top of descent. So I'm going to pull in our CUDA 2 arrival, and we're looking at 24,000 on the bottom altitude. So we're going to go ahead and set this to 240 and hit level change, or VNAV. You hit VNAV again, and anytime you reset it, you got to hit the VNAV. Now, the airplane should not descend the way it's descending. It shouldn't. So there's another way we could do this. There's a couple of ways. As we approach top of descent, you can see how it's all over the sky right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to descent, descend now, execute. And what it'll do now, and I'm going to click VNAV. What it's going to do is it's going to descend at a constant rate at just roughly about 1,500 feet a minute until we can catch profile. And then once we catch profile, it should be about 1,000 feet a minute. When we catch profile, it'll then hook the VNAV descent. And this is a really good technique because you just saw what the airplane wants to do. It wants to do this crap, you know, and the real thing wouldn't do that. The real thing would just track and go down. So this model is a little goofy in that aspect. But you can see the descent now that we're doing is pretty nice. It's a smooth descent. Once we catch vertical profile, it'll grab profile and we can start dropping. Sean's a Star Wars fan. Did anybody ever notice the flight deck? I mean, have you seen what's going on in this flight deck? You see the little nuggets here? Look who's staring at us right here this whole time. Anybody notice that? We got this sticker here. We got this one here. There's one on the FO side. STT, which is St. Thomas. Pretty cool gems. Darth Vader is looking at you. All right, and see how we catch profile? Look how we caught profile, right? VNAV descent now. Now we're really coming down. The power's coming to idle. Now I'm going to push the power down. There we go. All right. I'm going to call a descent check and we'll get that going. Let's call them up. Descent check.
Fuel quantity.
Checked.
Approach briefing.
Performed.
Landing data.
Set.
Descent check complete.
All right. When we hit 20,000, he'll turn on the rest of the lights. We're going to go down to 24. I'm going to go ahead and increase the range a little bit as we get closer and pump close to the airport here. 24,000 bottom altitude. Burn man is at 280 on the speed. So we've got to be between 28,000, which we're going to hit, and 24,000, which we're going to be fine. We're right in that range, so now we're going to go down past that to Holt at 15,000. So we're going to go ahead and reset this altitude to 15,000 like this, and then anytime again we adjust this, you always hit VNAV. It's one of those things in this aircraft. Okay, you can see that we're fine. clamp FMS. We got clamp. And we need to descend down to 15,000. 280 on the speed, looking good. I'm actually going to go ahead on the overhead here and throw on my anti-fog for the windshield. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and turn on System A as we get down through 18,000. Sean says, yes, I've noted it. I noticed it. Like, nobody mentioned. I thought it was somebody like, what? Darth Vader? Like, nobody said anything. Cool stuff. I probably mentioned it myself. That's probably why. I was going to put Yoda right next to him. That would have been really cool. Maybe we should do that. Alright, we got a weather change coming up here, folks. We had Lima. Let's see if Lima still holds. It's holding right now. So we got Holt at 15,000, 270 on the speed. Good. Alright, when we get to 20,000 feet, the lights will come on, and we can actually start seeing the aircraft again. Alright, what am I missing? We got approach check. We'll set the navigation. We've done that already. 111.1. Just want to check that. Make sure ILS is all dialed in. 110.1. 110.1. That is set. I said 111. 0906. 0906 set on the course. Good. You need a hockey sticker now. You're dang right I do. What kind of hockey sticker should we put in? We totally should do that. That would be fun. We should put the Panthers up there. Rangers or Panthers. Now we're getting to the bumps. We're starting to get to the kicks here. It's starting to bump around on us. Gosh, guys, it's so dark out there. You can't see anything. Yeah, that's turbulence. Welcome to Florida. You'd think it'd be benign just because of the... It's not heating. It's pretty hot still. Alright. Go ahead and throw on System A. It's one of those things I could cut. Looks like we've got to slow it down. Yeah, see there's Holt 15,000. It's looking good. .270 on the speed. We're about there now. Yeah, pretty good turbulence. Got an airplane right there. Broadcasting 122.8. I don't hear him. Where's that target going? We're going to light up like a Christmas tree here in a minute once he sees our aircraft. Now the lights are on. Lauderdale traffic. Riptide 5800 on the CUDA 2 arrival. Going to be setting up for ILS 10 left. Lauderdale. Any traffic in the area?
Yeah, Fairwinds 419 is make CUDA arrival for 10 left.
Going to the same runway. Yeah, I see you visually, your beam on my right.
Yep, I see you as well. Fairwinds 419.
Alright, there's transition. Transition now.
Set.
Okay, we got transition altitudes coming in here. 17,000. We've got Holt to 15. We're going to start going to mackerel. Are you on the CUDA too?
Yeah, do you want me to change to 10 right?
That's up to you. We're going to be merging right into this Weehoo waypoint, looks like. How fast are you going?
I'm going to change to 10 right.
Yeah. It doesn't matter about that. I'm at 16,500 now. Speed is 270.
Roger, I'm at flight level 180.
Okay. Are you flying the CUDA 2 then?
I am. We're descending to flight level 180.
We're going to have to get some separation with speed. Altitude's coming in. I'm going to go ahead and descend down to 11,000. Okay, I'm going to be heading down to 11,000 now, 270 on the speed.
Roger.
Now I'm awake. I got that TCAS. Do you want to speed it up and I can slow it down?
Yeah, I could do that real quick.
Alright, I'm going to slow down about 240. How's that?
Sounds good.
Okay. 240 on the speed. I know I don't want to, but I'm going to have to. He's higher than us, so he's got more energy. Here come the brakes. No, dude, I want you to say 240. There we go. We're going to go ahead and drop down to 11,000. We're going to go VNAV. And actually, I'm not going to do VNAV because we could do VNAV. Here, watch this. Let's go VNAV. And then I'm going to go IAS Mach. Stupid thing. 240 on the speed. We should be at idle thrust. 240 now. The airplane's on the descent. Looking good. He's speeding up. We're slowing down. We should be good. Let's see where there's that flipping airplane. Oh, that's cool, guys. Look up there. Alright, I'm going to take the brakes off. See how we do on speed. I'm going to have to dump a little bit. Mackerel 260 now. We're doing 240. Now he's ahead of us. He's about 3,800 feet. It's getting good now. Now it's getting fun, isn't it? Can you customize the cabin for the Mad Dog? Maybe. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You would think the team's paying that much money, you'd think we'd have custom logos for him. There it is. I got a visual. We'll keep him in our sights. How's that? We're doing good. He's speeding up. We're slowing down. CUDA's at 8,000, so let's go ahead and set the altitude down to 8,000 feet. There you go. The descent a little bit. I'm going to go vertical speed now. So this is what I mean. That's altitude, vertical speed. So I'm going to go VS lock here. I've got vertical speed now myself. I've got the aircraft. 2,000. That ain't right. 4,000 feet a minute. Dude. We're high as a kite. I'm going to slow it down. 220 now. Okay, we're going to keep going on the descent. We're going to keep dropping. There we go. I've got the dang descent. I'm going to go vertical speed. I'm going to do about 1,200 feet a minute and see how she does. That aircraft is well ahead of us now, so we're good. Got profile. He's in an Airbus, so he could, he's got that, he's really nimble. Yeah, landing lights are on. He already did his flow. We wouldn't turn our landing lights on until the gear comes down. I'll show you the aircraft on the outside. Let's get a picture of that. That's cool. So yeah, it's like I said, we're going to be lit up like a Christmas tree now. We're going to start doing our checklist. All right, there's locker. I need to descend more. Yeah, I see the altitude, bro. We're going to go down to 5,000 set. And actually 3,000 set.
Downwind or 10 left for report lighted.
Okay, vertical speed is mine. We're going to go ahead and drop that vertical speed. 1,600 feet a minute, and we're going to go vertical speed. It is set. Come on. There we go. Vert speed is set now, coming in. Okay, we're going to start slowing down. Seatbelt signs coming on, folks. No. They are on. He's turning downwind. I'm going to start pumping some speed down here. I got to get this aircraft slower. Lauderdale traffic, Riptide 5800, turning downwind, runway 10 left at Sheriff, Lauderdale. Okay, brakes. We got to start slowing this aircraft down. Vert speed coming in. Keep you coming. Keep it coming. Once we get it down below 200 feet, then I can start dropping some flap in there. We might have to extend a little bit. Kind of shoved our plans a little screwy because of the traffic here. But this aircraft can slow really fast, so I'm not worried about it. See how it says alpha speed? We're going to start getting slats in here, so I'm going to tell him. Slats extended.
Speed checked. Slats are extended.
Slats extended.
The airplane level off at 3,000. We'll go altitude hold. So at 800 feet a minute. We're going to start slowing the airplane down even more. It's beautiful. Good plan right now.
For loud air traffic, clear wings. 419 is turning base for 10 left. Loud air traffic.
Okay, it's going to hold. Altitude hold is armed. Speed's coming back. Flap 11. Flaps 11.
Speed checked. Flaps 11 set.
When we hit Warrior, we're going to go heading select, and then we'll cut in, okay? At 3,000. Should be at 3,000 level, set. Doing about 180, which is good on the speed. We got a visual of the airport, it's behind us, so we're going to do just to square it away. When we're past the beam him, we'll start our turn in. Let me get the heading going here. That should be the heading. Sorry, it's hard for me to see. Yeah, when we get to Warrior, we're going to do that 90-degree turn. We'll go heading select, turn 90 degrees. Looking good. See Everglades, it's pretty out here at night, huh? It's a cool thing flying at night.
Traffic, clear wing 419, turning final to only 10 left. Loud air traffic.
He's on 10 left. I'm glad I didn't cut him off. So we'll have to wait until we're beam, and then we can slide in. It's probably going to be after this road. Yeah, we got time now. How are the night visuals? They're pretty. Really nice. I like them. Better than any sim I've seen, that's for sure. Okay, you can see how we're beam, and we're beam that aircraft. Once we're beam, we can start our turn, and I'm going to go heading right here. I'm just going to click the heading select button. It's going to start rotating the aircraft over. There we go. That's what I said. I want to see that. Lauderdale traffic, Riptide 5800, turning base for runway 10 left. Lauderdale. Okay, like I said, we're just a little past Warrior, which is fine by me. Looking good. We're going to square it off. I'll start taking a peek. See, I can see that traffic right there. I got a visual all day long. Look at that thing lit up. Where's that traffic? There he is. He's on right side. We're going to be on the left side. Okay, get a good glimpse of the wind. It's actually pushing us away, so we're going to get ready. And then we're going to go gear down. I'll start the turn in right about nowish. There we go. Lauderdale traffic, Riptide 5800 on final, runway 10 left. Okay, it's good intercept. I like that intercept right now. We'll click ILS. ILS is holding. Let's see what happens. We're going to go for gear. Go for the intercept. You better start turning, airplane. Or I'm going to take over. There we go. Okay, you ready for the gear? Gear down. Approach check. Gear down. Approach check.
Gear down.
Flap 15. Flaps 15. Repeat last checklist.
Flaps 11 set.
Flap 15. Cancel checklist.
Roger.
Approach check.
Navigation.
Set.
Approach check completed.
Final check.
Navigation.
Set. Set and checked.
Ignition.
Alpha. Set. Set to alpha.
Auto spoilers and auto brakes.
On.
Flaps and slats.
28. Set. Set. Check. Set and checked.
Landing clearance.
Received.
Final check completed.
Okay, we go. Lights are on. Gear down. 3 green. Flaps are set. 28, 40. That's armed. And that is good to go on medium. There we go. Looking good, folks. Take the speed just a little bit. Can we get a picture, maybe? I'm going to have to take over. Okay, my plane. Auto throttle and autopilot.
Autopilot. 1000.
Check. It's nice and stable. She wants to come up though. There we go. Good. I'm going to push those throttles up. Try to get back on course here. Not too much, dude. Not too much. Man, that's like super sensitive. One throttles are off. Now she wants to see how she wants to climb. I'm fighting the nose down is what I'm doing. There we go.
500 above.
Yeah, we're way high, dude.
500.
Now I've got to recover because it wants to go down now. Like, what are you doing? Get on the center line.
300.
There we go.
Approaching
Pushing
minimums.
it down. Landing.
Align.
100.
Minimums.
Gosh.
Flare.
30. 20.
Fighting it.
10. Minimums.
Come on. Look at this thing. This is one heck of a float.
Nice landing. I'm impressed.
Spoilers deployed.
What do you say?
80 knots. 60 knots.
Reverse lights active.
Well, we're here. Wasn't a great approach. It wants to, I don't know what it is. It just wants to fight. I'm fighting it all the way down, but that's kind of what this aircraft does. Like, that's pretty true to real life, what I've heard when I've read about the MD-80. It's like you're constantly fighting the aircraft down, which is insane, right? All right, we're going to go down the second path, not this one. Let's do an after landing check. After landing checklist. I just missed it. All right. Well, we've made it.
After landing check completed.
I want to shut down.
Until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign and the aircraft is parked safely at the gate.
We're gonna go Tango 5.
About the cabin. Gather your belongings and disembark.
And then we'll.
We'd like to thank you for flying with us today. We appreciate your business and hope to see you again on a future flight.
Go up Tango 5 here, and then we'll go ahead and we're cooling down the engine. We'll go down Sierra. I'm all over the place. Down Sierra, then Foxtrot, then over
traffic, taking off runway 28 right, November 1266.
Okay, we're going to taxi down Sierra. Our APU's up. We'll go down Sierra, then we're going to go down to Fox, and then over to Golf. I'm going to shut down number 2. Cool, huh? It's a good looking airplane. I like the paint. The paint's pretty. Okay, I'm going to shut down number 2. I can see it. I don't know what I just did. There we go. Alright, let's take this down to Golf, and then we'll have to flip it around. Specs. You need a new FO. He's way too lazy. Yeah, no joke. Like, what are you doing, man? Let's turn off these lights. What are you trying to do? The cells are off. Anti-collision lights. That should be on position. Oh, do we remember the, Sean, are you still on? Do you remember what, holy cow, he's got the flaps down still. Flaps up. Flaps and slats. Slats up. Slats up. Flaps up. Flaps and slats. It ain't called the Mad Dog for nothing. That's exactly right. Yep. You are 100% correct on that. Dang, dude. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're going to pull in the opposite direction. So we're going to come up here. We're going to have to retract these. And then we're going to call GSX. And I think it's like 102, isn't it? I have to look. You sent me this beautiful... And I have it. I'm taxiing right now, right? Alright, let me look. Sean sent me this really nice looking chart, and we've got all the parking areas where it needs, where we need a park. So I've downloaded it, but of course, right when I need it, it's in my... No. Okay, I'm going to turn down Lima. Oh, we got this all day long, bro. Come on, airplane. Glad it's one that I need. There it is. Gotta open it. I'm looking too. It's funny as we're both looking. Done. Okay. Continue. Alright, what we're doing... Shelter Aviation. I don't have there it is. Alright, folks, that's where we're parking. Lima, I think it's like 102, isn't it? I think it's 102. Let's call GSX. Let them know. No, it's like, isn't it like 30 something? Oh yeah, that's right. That was a JFK. It's like 30 something. No, let's see where they come out and spawn. Ew. They've dispatched to the site. There's that guy. Hold on. It's got to be around here somewhere. I think it's like on, maybe it's 34. I forgot. Change parking facility. Let's see.
The chosen position is too small for your aircraft.
I know it's the 30s. Oh, I'm just getting so confused. Where is this thing? All right, well, it's not in here. Ah, there it is. You see it? You guys got it right there? Yep, that's it. All right, so we're gonna have to swing around. gonna swing this thing around. If I got this goofy guy right here. You know what I got to do too? Is I'm going to change the positioning. I'm going to run this guy over. Where'd he go? There he is. Let's blind him. Yeah, we got to change everything when we stop, and I thought we did this before. What are you talking about? You want me to turn? You want me to hit this person? Thank you. What is wrong with this guy? He's had one too many. Alright, that took forever. Alright, brakes on. Let's go ahead and fuel cut off right here. Shut that off. Parking check.
Parking brakes.
Set.
Flaps and slats.
Retracted.
APU or external power.
On. Set. Established.
Fuel levers.
Cut off. Off.
Anti-collision.
Off.
Hydraulic pumps.
Off.
Seatbelt switch.
Off.
Ice protection panel.
Set. Off.
Transponder.
Off. Standby. Standby.
Parking check completed.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to customize the space before I take off here, guys. Tomorrow. I'm going to do it tonight, but... Alright, let's go ahead and open the doors now. We'll call GSX, tell them to come over and start deplaning the aircraft. And then we'll go outside and have a little fun.
This is too small for your aircraft.
Request deboarding.
The boarding requested.
Pretty sweet. Let's see what happens here. That's pretty good, right against this baggage cart. Nice. Welcome to Fort Lauderdale. Well, there's an aircraft taking off. That's super cool. I want to actually see if they open the doors. I want to see if they open this door. They might. I'm going to go ahead and open...
Passengers bus is coming.
Well, I need this. Alright, let's go to... I don't know. I'm going to open these doors, though. Open the aft cargo. Forward cargo. And I'm going to open that front door here. Open that forward main. Great. I'm going to actually put the GPU online just because I don't want to keep burning fuel. And I will flood the cockpit so we can see everything. Okay, that's coming on. That's on. That's off. That's off. AP Masters off. Look at that. Ah, we made it. Wow, this thing's all jacked up. We're going to have to open that back door, bottom door. So we'll turn our trans pump on for a minute. And we'll just go ahead and open that back door. Aft stairs coming down.
Passengers deboarding starting.
What are you doing? Okay, where'd it go? All right, folks. All right, you see how that door is halfway down? It's because we got to go actually here and turn on the dang pump. And you can shut it off now. Trans pump's off. And then if you go outside, you can see how the full stairs are down now. How cool. All right. Well, that was successful. I mean, the landing was crap, but what do you expect? All right, let's go ahead and make sure that we get credit for the flight. We're going to click End Flight, file the flight plan, and cha-ching! I wish it was a cash register, because that's exactly what this flight is, cash. Cha-ching! All right, I got to write the fuel load down really quick before we button this thing up for tomorrow. 4,044.50. Boy, that was a big float, wasn't it? Big float down the runway. 4,044.50. I think they're going to fly this flight during the day on Sunday, so I'm probably going to simulate that tomorrow and just do a day flight. These night flights are fun, but man, they're hectic. We're going to wait till they finish everything. I'm going to go ahead and set all of this ground equipment in the correct positions, so we could, you know, have a good launch next time. Yeah, exactly, Sean. Money bags on this one. I love it. All right, folks. So I hope you enjoyed it. 201 or 202. Actually, yeah, it was JFK. All right, we got it. Oh, specs. The specs on this, we've got a 3090 card. We got an AMD chip, and we got a 5800 chip in there. 32 gigs on the RAM, liquid cooled, Arctic. It's a beautiful system. It's pretty. Lots of fans. So hopefully that helps. All right, folks, and you can see, maybe I could take you around here for a minute and I'll just show you kind of what we were talking about before with that low bypass air. Oh, look at that, we're in the cabin. Oh, we're going to have to do some cabin, some cool VIP stuff. Well, I didn't want to do that, but it happened. So you can see the engine here. Yes. I'm getting off the airplane.
Crew bus is
so you can see there's the stator I was talking about. And then on the back of this engine, know if we could see it very well in the dark. Man. Well, I don't think it's going to work. You can't see it at night, but you could kind of see this little area. I can't see it. Anyway. Well, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing. Once this thing's done, I'm going to get GSX all fixed at this airport. And then for those of you who patrons, check out Patreon if you want to support us. Patreon.com/FSBN channel. We're doing a private stream tomorrow. We're going to go from Fort Lauderdale down to Phoenix. It's going to be a long haul. Probably in the afternoon. I'm going to try to get it done. So whenever I have the time. All right. Until next time, keep the blue side up and the black side down. We'll see you. Thanks for watching.
Your crew has deboarded.